Give
Both
people
of
time
them.
to get in.
Both
Which
of
one
them.
plays? Which one plays better to you?
I honestly like them really. I like them both. I feel college is more exciting because it's bigger plays. The disparity of good players versus bad players, you can see it. Like if you got a 70 something corner and I got like a 80 something wide receiver, 90 something, it's a wrap, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. Where in Madden you can scheme it. You know, I could corral you. I could play zone, and you know maybe my corners ain't that good, but we can hide it a little bit more. But I like them both, honestly, for different reasons. But I think they're equally as good. But I will say I think college football is a little bit more exciting,
Mm-hmm. I've been
more
hearing the same
variety.
thing.
Yeah, like like the
Yeah,
playbook, like you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of different stuff you can do versus Madden. But they both good though. I think they outdid themselves.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
got an Astros hat on, Sheldon?
Yeah. You know, I used to work at
Of
Leeds, so
course, of course. You got
There's
an
his new team
Astro,
for the week.
right? They won a couple.
uh,
They won a
hey,
couple World
I
Series.
got
Let me
I
root for
got
them
I
now.
got I got every hat, every
Mm-hmm.
one. I'll never
Mm-hmm.
root for the Astros. This
Mm-hmm.
this just this just for fashion.
Mm-hmm.
All
I'm a
right.
Brave.
I know people are rolling in. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm sure people don't care about college football anyway, which is our lead story. So they'll hop
Wow,
on.
Ken just
Jesus
like being
Christ,
he just like being disrespectful for no reason.
he does. Golly.
Oh man. All right. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Beans. Joining me, we have Nick, FIFO, Shelton, and Spike. What up?
What's going on?
What's up,
Um,
man?
What up, though?
Appreciate everybody tuning in. As you know, we are, what, a week or so? How many weeks are we away from football?
Two.
We
Two?
This
We ain't even two
this
full
upcoming
weeks.
week.
We are,
Yeah,
oh no,
this
no.
upcoming week, and then next week
Hey,
it
Ten
start.
days.
I
hey
think,
Lou,
9 days.
hey Lou, they
Mm,
giving us the greatest opening week of football ever, bro.
They
facts.
are.
And both on
Facts.
college and NFL. Because on Thursday, you got next Thursday is Thursday night football opening season. Well, not the Amazon Prime Thursday night football, but it's Thursday the opening
Chiefs,
season.
Ravens.
Yeah, Chiefs Ravens. Then Friday they got football. We got I think that's the Amazon game. I
Brazil,
think it's
Packers
Packers
versus
Eagles.
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 Yep.
I can't
No,
Then
remember
on
the other team the Packers playing.
Packers.
Yeah, Packers playing the Junior
Yes.
Pro season.
yeah,
Okay.
and then you got Saturday premiere of college football, which you got all these the matchups we mentioned last week, and then you got Sunday football. You got Sunday all day with football, and then Sunday night football, and then you got Monday night football with 49ers Jets. Like
It's gonna be
the great like football from Thursday to Monday, the greatest
the
weekend.
real season is back, people. Look at NBA shit. Get it out of here.
NBA ain't never gonna do that. NBA gonna never take over 5 nights.
Never do that first week of the season.
They never take it over 5 nights.
Ever. Even this week though, Nick, we got good college football games. Clemson versus Georgia play. That's gonna be like I think people gonna be tuned into that because they want to see what
I don't
Clemson
think
gonna do.
I don't think you think
You
Clemson
think
gonna
so?
win?
I mean, I think they'll make it a game, and Notre Dame and Texas A&M play. That's like Texas A&M could possibly beat Notre Dame.
I'm rooting for Notre Dame just because
I'm rooting for Texas A&M.
the head
Because
coach.
of coach. Yeah, Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman came from Cincinnati, so I got root for him.
That's
man,
it's a solid weekend this weekend for college football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Colorado plays
tap in.
next. Colorado plays Thursday, Ken. By the way.
They play with North Dakota.
Yeah, North Dakota State.
Let's see if everybody gonna be
And
as
that's a
hyped as
tough
they
one.
were last year.
That's gonna be
North Dakota State. It's a sleeper. They can beat Colorado. They one of the best teams in like
that's not saying much because Colorado only won 4 games.
But they ain't. I don't think that they FBS or whatever FB whatever they call it. I don't think that North Dakota State is that. They're a division under, but they the top in a division. So it's a tough first game.
So the first official NFL game is what date?
Thursday, September the 5th.
Next Thursday the 5th. Yes.
So right after Labor Day. Okay.
Yep, and that is Ravens Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Should have been Cowboys, but hey.
All right. Well, we'll be doing our weekly picks once again this year, keeping track of the scores as usual. So make sure you guys tune in, and we want to definitely encourage you guys to play along with us as well. So keep track of your official scores also.
I'll
Anyway,
I'll try to
I'm winning
incorporate.
this year, no doubt. I'm winning
Yeah,
this year,
I
no
really,
doubt.
I really got to keep. I usually delete them right after the season, so I got to keep records of who got the. We got to come up with like a little trophy or
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm winning this season.
Yeah, it's
No
it's
doubt
But
me
about
I,
it.
as always. You already know.
No, no doubt. I'm taking it this season, no doubt about it. I
You
know where
won
my
one,
Cowboys
Cowboys?
gonna be at. I ain't gonna be no favoritism bet, so I'm winning this. What'd you say?
he say that, but he wait till the season start.
Hey, Lou, did you win one time? Have you won yet?
I haven't won yet, but I've only
Oh,
been on the show for a year.
okay.
You've been here 8 years, old man.
Just
You got a lot more W's than me.
Nah,
like the Cowboys.
we gonna do something. I may add in a fan games, like 2
That'll be
games
dope.
for the listeners to pick and see what their records are like compared to us.
okay, yeah, I'm with it. Anyway, you guys were talking about college football, so let's start there. One of the games I think was mentioned last week, Georgia Tech and Florida State, was a game that we were talking about, and it was rather eventful for both teams. Unranked Georgia Tech made an early upset in defeating number 10 ranked Florida State last Saturday on a game-winning field goal to go up 24-21. Man, what happened to the Florida State program? And does this fall on DJ Uiagalelei's shoulders? Florida State, they had that Jordan guy, right?
Yep.
Where he at? What happened to him?
Him being hurt is the reason.
He's the backup for with the Jets now. He's in the league. Travis.
Oh, he left? Okay.
Yeah, he graduated.
That was his last year. Him being in the league, him being in the league is the reason, or him getting hurt last year is the reason that they didn't get voted into the playoff.
Right. I remember
after
that.
this Georgia Tech game, we see why.
No.
We see why.
No.
We do.
No, how? How?
Because
well, okay,
people,
wait, no. Wait. Yes, you're right. I to a certain degree, I do agree with you because the guy that they had playing in that game as quarterback was kind of, he was new. This guy, this DJ guy from Clemson and wherever else, because he's been bouncing all over the place. He just can't freaking play, bro.
Now,
this is all on him.
With that. I agree with that, but the reason Florida State people gave us hell on this show when we were talking about it last year because they got left out. And they were, I think, undefeated or had one loss, and people were saying they shouldn't have got left out. But the quarterback, the dude that we just talked about that went to the Jets, he got hurt, and he was the best player on their team. And people were trying to say, oh, well, they still deserve it because of how they played all season. They didn't. And we see it now. We see it now, them playing Georgia Tech.
Well, it's a different team, different roster.
It don't matter now. It don't matter.
It was definitely different. It was a different roster, man. But what I will say is playing in a neutral site can be tricky for a lot of teams. It depends on how you prepare when you go. They were in Ireland of all places, so you got to be prepared when you go off site like that. And I think Florida State underestimated Georgia Tech, and they came out. Florida State on that first drive they had. Of course, they were running the ball a lot, but they looked really, really good on the first drive. But Georgia Tech with a veteran quarterback, King he's been there for a minute and he knows what he's doing. I think they brought back 90% of their starters. That team wasn't no pushover, and I think that Florida State kind of took them lightly. And DJ is not a dynamic player. DJ is not what he was built up to be in high school. He was on that show, QB1, that TV show that they had, and DJ was supposed to be that guy. He arrived at Clemson. He got the starting job his second year. He couldn't hold it. Ended up transferring out to Oregon State, where he probably should have stayed. Had a decent season, but Oregon State is Oregon State. So, of course, he wanted to be back in the spotlight. So he went to Florida State, and here we are. But, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Georgia Tech hung in there. And, before you know it, it was a game, and their veterans wore out Florida State.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
I think that what's happened to Florida State is a travesty. It seemed like since the Jameis Winston era, like they ain't really been the same since. And I'm surprised by that, based on because it's a well-known program in the state of Florida where damn near all the best college football players usually come from. And they can't really get in. But like this quarterback DJ, like you mentioned, Ken, like he been bouncing around trying to find a home on some fucked up ass Goldilocks shit. And this nigga is looking like it seemed like he just I can't even say a bust in college, but it just seems like
No,
he
you
is.
say it.
Because it's like there is talent, but then he just don't put it together for some reason. Like he just how do you lose to Georgia Tech? Like I made the joke last week saying like these are the teams at the universities that they can't compete with the big programs, and all of a sudden they get with the first weekend is an upset. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, but Georgia Tech, routinely, like every 5 to 7 years, is like a really good team, a team that's gonna upset people. So that doesn't surprise me. I do agree with you, Nick, where the biggest surprise in regards to Florida State is the fact that they're not able to recruit. Gizmo, chill. They're not able to recruit. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of good football players do come from Florida, Georgia, Texas, California. Those are like the big four. That being said, Miami has gone through the U has gone through this. Florida State is now going through this. Florida has gone through it. So it takes the right coach, the right team in place that the AD puts in place for them to be able to go get the guys. And then the NIL thing, that throws a whole other monkey wrench because this is the first full year that we see with it. But they're just not getting guys. Like they'll get a guy here, a guy there, guys that still go to the league and stuff like that, but they're not putting together a complete team. That's something that we saw with UGA. What's the coach name? Is it Rick?
Kirby Smart.
No, it's Kirby Smart. Rick was the last one. When Kirby came in, yeah, he inherited, but he ain't let that roster fall off. You get in top recruiting classes right after that. And that's how you keep the wheels churning. We saw Saban do that. But Florida State, for whatever reason, man, they fumble in the recruits.
They made
FIFO,
some,
how
they made-
how
okay.
I was
Go
just
ahead,
wondering
Lou.
how y'all was saying that, and last year they were undefeated. Like this team was undefeated. Like they're getting good recruits. They made a bad decision with the quarterback. I do agree there, but this team has good players.
I'm talking about
I think it's
consistent
coaching.
I'm talking about on a consistent
Even
basis.
consistently, you mentioned Jameis Winston. That's about the normal track for a Florida team every however many years that they get to the national championship since Jameis Winston was there, and since last year when they went undefeated. And some people would argue if they Florida State fans could have been in the playoff because it was 4 teams and they were undefeated, but their quarterback got hurt. I think they're still making solid recruiting decisions. It's just the quarterback. This is more about him than it is about Florida State's franchise. I think Florida State as a whole is still as good as they have been. Yeah, they do have down years, but if they had a better quarterback, even in this game against Georgia Tech, they would be 1-0 right now. And we would be still talking. They were number 10 coming into this season. So it's not about them not having good players. They don't have a good quarterback. This is about DJ more so than Florida State.
I'm just talking about being a consistent threat as a program. I thought that
they were a consistent threat though.
To me, the rankings. I mean, you can't go off rankings when last year. If we're talking about rankings last year, TCU was top 5 or something like that, and then they lost to Colorado. That's what I'm saying. But then TCU was coming off of a championship appearance, and TCU over history of the last 10 years, they are, like you said, competitive as well in college football. But when we actually look at who's our like big contenders in college football, bro, we're not mentioning these motherfuckers like we used to.
You are mentioning them. You are mentioning them though.
I don't
much. I would say that as much as you mentioned their competitors, which is Miami, which is Florida, those are the 3 teams in the state of Florida that you really got to deal with. Every couple of cycles, it's one of those 3 teams that are good. It's just so
when was the last time Miami was like legit good, and Florida at that.
They ranked 19th this year.
Bro, I'm talking about legit good. That's what you gonna say.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about Florida
It's been a
State
minute.
until last year, bro.
It's
Like
been a
last
minute for all
last year was the
Florida
first year that we talked about Florida State in a minute. And even with that, if they were that stacked, like you said, as far as talent wise, them not having they would have had a backup quarterback for that. Like you see some of these rosters, but Joe Burrow was on Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? He got kicked off the team. Like if these niggas is really stacked, they should be able to have a backup that's ready. Shit, Alabama won a title throwing in they backup in Tua. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like if these are really well recruited classes, like you said,
I agree. They're not
something.
on that level. They're not on Alabama's level, but I do think they're a step below. So every other team on their tier is competing for a national championship about as many years as they take to compete for one. Y'all right, we haven't mentioned them in a while, but it ain't like they Alabama, they not LSU, they're a tier below them. And for that tier, like they doing what they do is Florida State. They not the same Florida State that we remember for Bobby Bowden and Charlie Ward and Warwick Dunn. I agree with you guys there, but I do think the level that they're on now, I mean, we mentioned them as much as everybody else on that level.
The last time, and Nick nailed it, the last time we talked about Florida State was Jameis Winston.
That was 2015. That's 10 years. That's okay for that level.
That's a long time for a big program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else is on Florida State level? Tell me who else y'all tell. No,
they went to a
first of all, no. TCU is not on Florida State level. Florida State is above TCU.
If we're talking about I'm talking about a consistent program that's like competitive. Like TCU
Florida State is on a level with like Penn State.
No, they not.
Florida State and Penn State not on the same level.
Nah. Consistently, nah. I say Penn State. Penn State was like before and I'm even and I know I'm saying I may sound blasphemous, but I'm just saying like what was it? Rick Pitino? Not Rick Pitino. It was what his name is. The
dude that's there now.
No, the dude that got
Franklin.
They got them on the sanctions for the child molestation and stuff like that.
That is
Rick Paterno.
That's Paterno.
Joe Paterno.
Joe Paterno. Sorry. Even during that time of transit, like Penn State was a program. That's why that shit really affected them because they were legit like program where they could take
Florida State.
They could take out Ohio State and Michigan on any given season. Even damn near to this day now they come back. Like Lou, did you not watch that Ohio State game? I think it was last year or year before.
They lost.
They barely lost though to Ohio State team.
Florida State's record in 2023 was 13-1. In 2022 was 10-3. They were 500 or below every year after for like the 8 years until 2016 when they were 10-3, 10-3 in 2015, and then 13-1 in 2014. Florida State used to be really, really good, but like they said, they have not been relevant since. And it's just real talk. I'm talking about on the whole since Winston was there. It's been really, really. It's been inconsistency with the coaching.
My point is their competition, you can say the same thing about. You can say the same thing about Miami. You can say the same thing about Florida. UCF has a good season every 10 years. So if I'm grading myself on a scale of the best college in Florida, Florida State still holds tier.
Well, I think
who's better than them in a state?
Well, I think Lou, you're wrong, but it doesn't really matter because I think you were right about the issue being DJ, being the quarterback.
That's what
the issue is the quarterback.
I agree with.
We all can agree to that. We all can agree with that.
He was a big.
That's what we all agreeing about.
He was a big part of that, but they didn't run the ball well either. Not like a Florida State team is known to do. So, but he is the catalyst, and you expect him to step up big. I think he was like 19 for 27. Something like that, but still wasn't for like 193 yards. He had low yardage, no touchdowns. When he did run the ball, it looked like he was running in mud. DJ can't get right, man. I feel bad for DJ because
Deion all that show. He didn't even look like a superstar. He looked like a regular blow Joe as like Georgia Tech quarterback looked better than him.
I watched him when he was at Clemson, bro. He's not good.
I agree with
that's
you.
Why Dabo cut his ass. Dabo
was like, get out of here, bro.
He was
You-
overhyped. They gave that job to Klubik and took his job. Now, if you look at Georgia Tech, like I said, they returned 90% of their starters. So Georgia Tech came into this game prepared to play. It wasn't like they were some scrubs. And Hayes King
Don't
had
do that. Don't do
King
that.
had a
Still
good.
shouldn't
They
be.
weren't.
Still shouldn't be.
They
Florida
shouldn't have
State.
beat him. No, I'm not saying they should have beat him. They should not have beat him. I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people picked this upset. It wasn't like this was just out of the blue. A lot of people had Tech winning.
Man, I'm gonna
Well.
tell you this, Shelton, bro. Florida State rather had DJ Unk than DJ Odom.
I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you.
They-
I'm with you. They talk about he need to get a job. I seen them talking. They've been trying to get that man out of there now. After one game, they's like, he done. They want him to hit the portal again.
That man been in college since 2020.
That's
Like, it's over, bro.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
Get him out
I
of
just
here,
think it's a
bro.
lot.
From Wu Young, some people felt DJ was more talented as a pitcher than quarterback in high school. He got drafted by the Dodgers in 23. Needs to go try the minor league football. He trash.
I agree.
What were you about to say, Shelton? And then we'll go to the next one.
No, it's a lot of them quarterbacks that you can say the same thing about. Jameis Winston can go play baseball right now if he wanted to.
Hey, Jameis was that guy, man. That we ain't
He
no
get more
Jameis
money.
slander.
Hey, he get more money doing.
No, I'm saying he could. No, I'm talking
pregame
about baseball.
motivational speeches.
Oh,
He
my
can do
bad.
pregame motivational speeches, man. He gonna make the money that he need to make.
Hey, Florida
I'm just
State
saying
Jameis
as
was.
a-
I got you.
I'm just saying, as a baseball player, he was really that good. And it's a lot of those was crazy. A lot of those black quarterbacks were baseball players. Russell Wilson. I read a thing today on Twitter that was saying if it wasn't for I think Joe Gibbs, then it wouldn't have ever been a Patrick Mahomes would have been playing baseball. So with Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, all those guys would not have had a chance to play quarterback if it wasn't for Joe Gibbs giving Doug Williams a chance, because they didn't believe in black quarterbacks up until that point. But yeah, DJ need to play baseball.
Yeah. Shout out to 12 Kyle. He's in the chat.
What up, Kyle?
Asking
Cal, man.
about his favorite.
Well-renowned Giants fan. Like he be trying to deny it. Shout out to Cal, well-renowned Giants fan.
Random Giants fan too, or at least random person that keeps up with them.
Yeah,
love
make sure
the
you guys check out his he got a new show out, so make sure you guys check that out. It's the Rap Soul Podcast. Rap Soul Podcast. So check it out, bro. Y'all get a chance. All right, man. Let's keep this thing rolling. Deion Sanders continues to make news. Deion Sanders and the University of Colorado have banned interview questions from being asked to him by reporter columnist Sean Keeler from the Denver Post. The athletic department has stated that while Keeler is still permitted to attend football-related activities as a credentialed member of the media, Deion will not take questions from Keeler. However, other reporters from the Denver Post are welcome to ask questions. Is this kind of filtering going too far for a college head coach, or is this a new era of media relations? By the way, according to the Denver Post, Sanders has unique language in his contract with Colorado that says he is required to speak only with mutually agreed upon media. And when I saw that, when I read this story, I was like, wow. Anyway.
Why wow?
So what say you guys?
Why wow, Ken?
It's a little cowardly.
What?
I was gonna say
You don't
wow as
think
far
Nick
as like
Saban and all the other coaches have those same things in
They
their
do the
contract?
same thing. Yeah, they do the same
like,
thing. It's just
no,
not
you-
publicized.
You let your
better
Deion
believe-
hate.
Yeah, don't let
See
your
through,
Deion hate
Ken.
get you, Ken. You best
Show me a
believe
story.
it.
Show me a couple of stories.
You won't see it.
That's
Hold on,
that's
I won't see
it.
it.
Oh,
I
Go
feel
ahead, Nick.
I'm of two minds, because one, I was with you. I thought you were gonna say wow as far as like, most of the time when we talking about black people with contracts, it's the nigga contract where you getting the views. He gotta miss the nigga contract where he said, "Hey, gotta talk to none of y'all niggas if I don't fuck with you." But
That's
but number two though is to Ken's point though, like if this was anybody but Deion, we would be criticizing him for this. Like, I'm gonna just say that if it was
Why?
anybody but
Why?
Deion,
Why?
Really?
Why do you say that?
It wouldn't even be
Why do you say
public
that?
if it was anybody but Deion.
if it was anybody
like
but
I'm
Deion,
saying.
I'm saying if there's anybody but Deion who had this amount of notoriety, who won that many games last year, who truly hasn't really proven himself on this level just yet. Granted, he did beat TCU, but it's TCU, like Lou was trying to say. So at the same time, it's like if niggas was ducking and dodging questions like this, just now, granted, I'm not agreeing with how the reporter came at him and said all that shit, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the media in general, being able to pick and choose who you interact with based off of whether you want to hear praise or criticism, we wouldn't be rah-rah in this shit. That's all I'm trying to say.
But Nick, he didn't.
No,
the thing about
it's
it
not
is,
right.
it's not. The reason why I don't agree with that is because this is not about the praise or criticism. It's about the name calling and the way the guy's addressing him. If the guy's talking about football and coaching and how bad of a job he's doing on the field, that's one thing. But if you start taking personal shots at a guy, which is what this guy is doing, then I agree. You step up and defend yourself and be like, I ain't got to talk to you. You get out like he did, and I think that shows a level of manhood that should be commended. You know, black people don't have a lot of power like that. So I appreciate it when somebody gets a shot like Deion and takes advantage of that power that they have. So, yeah, if you're going to talk about him like that, then you don't need to be able to ask me no questions. Hey, we're going to block you.
Shelton, he did the same thing at Jackson State, and that was a serious issue. He got a reporter banned, if I recall, when they were asking about some sexual assault charges or something. If I'm remembering that correctly.
I don't recall that.
He definitely banned the reporter from Jackson State.
I have it here. In July 2021, a reporter from Jackson State, Clarence Ledger, was barred from reporting on the Jackson State football team at the Southwestern Athletic Conference Media Day. A day after the reporter wrote a story detailing a domestic violence charge against the team's top recruits.
Okay, domestic violence, not sexual assault.
I'm laughing because Sheldon reacted the same way most niggas do when you say that to the information.
I don't recall.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what I don't know what you're saying.
I think that's different though, and you're letting your hatred for Deion seep over. If Deion wants to block a reporter out who has been shitting on him in his whatever reports that he does to the Denver Post, I think that's fair because any other coach in America would get that and not get the criticism that Deion gets. This dude right here has been shitting on Deion for a long time. And now you come into the media room with all the other reporters and you try to act buddy, and you think I'm going to call on you and you think I'm going to give you questions over people who are championing me. No, I'm not going to do that. Like, sit here, shut up, because you bitched your way into this position, and now we done. I'm gonna let everybody else get the questions that you should get. I feel like that's that's solid.
Let me see if Ken would agree with me on this, Lou. And FIFA, of course, I want to get your thoughts on this as well. But two things. One, let's say put this thing to the side for a second. This nigga said the whole network can't ask him questions. He said CBS. He said, "Are you from CBS?" I'm not talking to CBS. And he was like, "Bro, I'm just saying, like, this is. I'm just saying, like, he was willing to take off a network. Somebody had to pull him to the side and say, "Hey, bro, we said this is your contract, but you can't. They're only about 5 networks we give a fuck about. You can't take out CBS. Is one of them. And two, my thing is this though, is." To me, I look at this as a slippery slope. Like, I agree. Like, I think with this reporter, he's justified in it because he was just saying shit to where it's just like, all right, bro, what you really trying to say? Just say you don't like me. But it shows his power as far as like, if you can take out one reporter, you can take out multiple reporters. And then on top of that, Lou, what we always talk about when we paying all these millionaires, that's what the money for, bro. Is for you to deal with the criticism and the bullshit and all the shit that comes with being a rock star at a big university, a Power 5 quote unquote university. Like the money,
it's
like
also,
and
it's
you
also
Deion,
for me to tell people that I don't want to talk to him.
And you're Deion, bro. It's not like this is the first time he heard somebody talking shit about him. I just think that he's never had it in his contract where he ain't had to talk to him before, and now we about to see him use it. And go ahead.
To put it in context, this is a local reporter. Someone who's supposed to be speaking positively about the university.
That's not what local reporters do.
I don't know why y'all looking like that. That's the whole reason.
That's not the media's job, bro. That's not the local report. No.
Like when
I saw I got to see what he said because I can't remember what he said
He
exactly.
called him the Bruce
He
Lee of
made it-
BS. He had some funny names. The shit was
Yeah.
the shit was hilarious.
He was trying to say he said everything but nigga.
And
So-
and with that being said, look, Dick, what you just said. With that being said, you could understand someone being like, "I ain't talking to him.
You know, I
He called me everything but nigga, dude.
I get
ain't
that,
talking
but-
to dude."
I get that, but
I'ma
this is
show
the
you,
second.
yeah.
This is I'm just saying, Sheldon. This is the second time he's used his power because at first he tested the boundaries, right? First he said I ain't talking to nobody at CBS. Then he had to walk it back, and now because then he talked to the white man who paid him. And he was like, all right, well, if I can't take out a whole network, can I just call out certain individuals? They're probably like, yeah, we'll let you do that. And this is the first one, like you said, he has a precedent, so he had history to show to his boss, saying like, look, I don't want him in the room, or I don't want him talking. Everybody else can talk, but you. Like that's a level of power that again, I'm because as a black man, I'm with y'all. I get it, but at the same time, like I said, if he wasn't Deion Sanders, we are looking at this totally different, and that makes me think about the situation in a different perspective too.
Or just say no comment. Like I need to understand, because the reason why I call it cowardly is because there's a pattern. Spike, you read a whole ass article about him preventing a guy from asking about domestic abuse, which is a very serious issue, and not name calling. And that was the first time that he pulled that BS. Deion only wants positive things or positive news coverage. That was a very serious issue, and he got the guy basically dismissed and banned. So I don't understand how you guys are okay with that.
Well, like the beat writers their job is to be positive in regards to the team. You know what I'm saying? Some of those local beat writers that's the job. You can throw your hands up and do whatever you want. The people that want that job, they'll take that job. The people that don't want that job and want to be more objection, you know what I'm saying, in regards to what they want to say, then they have other roles for that. But if you're going to be a beat writer for a school, for a program, for a professional team, typically those are geared in a positive way, Ken. They have to have a positive spin because they have all other media like us that's going to keep it 100 and keep it funky.
So like a new Start 19 asked, or how are they supposed to be positive about domestic violence charges?
You don't. The thing about that is that's not about being positive.
I'm not getting them mixed up. I'm very clear. I'm just trying to understand that there's a pattern of Deion trying to block peak negative coverage from his team. This type of shit shouldn't be allowed.
Well, see, the thing about wait.
One at a time. Yeah, go ahead, Sheldon.
The thing about the domestic violence part of it, we don't know the circumstances behind that. You know good and well. PR is like, we don't touch that right now. We can't even talk about that. So if he gonna come in here and drill us about that, he can't even be in here. That ain't a Deion call. That's a PR call. You don't. That kind of stuff is like off limits in the media section unless you got a written report. That's not something you ask in a press conference and a person answers freely without that type of information.
But that's on the university and Deion. That ain't on the reporter.
So
Reporter's job is to ask the question.
Correct.
Sheldon, you sound crazy right now.
No, my thing is this.
That's what they do.
My thing is
I agree with Sheldon.
I worked in marketing and PR. I perfectly understand what they do, but they also don't duck and run from the issues. And I don't recall a coach being able to ban somebody.
I think you're trying to tie the two issues in is different, Ken. One is an issue about I can't speak on that as a coach because of legal ramifications. The other is the issue with I just don't like what you said about me, and I'm not going to talk to you. That's cool. For me, I understand.
How old are you time when you said that? Yeah,
look though, Nick, what's the phrase we use all the time? I'm Mr. Nigga. If I'm Mr. Nigga and I don't want to talk to you because of some bullshit you said about me, I can do that. I don't think that the stuff that happened at Jackson State, while I do agree with Ken, it is important and he shouldn't have done that. Yes, all of that I agree with. But the stuff that's happening in Colorado because some white wild reporter wants to go in and say everything about me other than calling me a nigga that can't do his job. No, nigga, I'm not gonna talk to you when you come in here and try to address my team and get stories. That should be perfectly understandable.
All I'm saying, and I think we're getting some information in the chat too about him. So regardless, when you're talking about local sports reporters, columnists, whatever you want to call them, they're like very honest in their observation of the team. When you're doing great, they with you. When you doing shit, they honest as fuck. So to me, it's like,
don't you have to accept that though, Nick? If you being critical of me, you have to accept me not wanting to talk to you as someone in a position of power.
They're saying in the chat like he's a columnist, so he puts more of his opinions, his perspective and opinion on it. Again, I'm not dissing Deion for kicking him out the room. I'm fine with that. All I'm saying is that there is a line that I feel like we're not really seeing with this. Like what Ken's point is, like when it comes to criticism, it's just interesting how he reacts to it, especially in this particular. Like if Deion was winning and he was getting criticized, I don't think he's acting like this. It's the fact that he's coming off of a 4-winning season, which is the best that Colorado's had in years. However, that's not Deion's standard, and people are going to judge him off of his own standard. And if this is how he's reacting to just for threatening to take off a whole network, and then now being able to kick out a beat writer or whatever, a reporter, whatever, columnist, like to me, it's just like, all right, bro, like what it's gonna get to a point where if he don't do well this season, if he don't win at least 5 games, bro, we gonna see a real different version of Deion.
That's fair. I'm not disagreeing with you on that statement in the sense of he needs to be careful in the sense of who he disqualifies and who he doesn't. But I think these situations are different because what you're speaking to with sexual assault and your players is different from someone criticizing you and you just not wanting to talk to them. I don't think these things are the same.
Yeah, they're two totally different issues.
Go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, I just think those are 2 totally different issues.
Yeah, and the thing about the first one, just so y'all know, I'm not excusing that abuse at all. It's just you answered that in a statement. You don't answer that in a forum where you're getting questioned and you're not prepared with the answers. That's not how you handle that. And y'all know good and well, coming from a leadership role, I've been told several times, hey, we don't discuss this. We deal with this in-house. And when it's done,
comment.
We give you a statement. That's it.
The guy couldn't even come back.
Right. So, but I'm saying, who's to say that that's Deion's call that that guy couldn't come back and not the university?
It is Deion. We know it's Deion's call. It's in his contract.
It's not a wrong call. It's not a wrong call. Even if it is Deion call, that's not wrong.
I'm not saying
you're trying to jam me up. You a beat rebut.
All I'm saying is this: giving a college coach the ability to dodge questions contractually, like the ability to do that. How many college coaches are you willing to think if they're going through a bad season?
Of the top
ones are going to be like, I'm not answering
your
questions. I'm gonna answer
Kirby Smart, Nick Saban.
Okay, is Deion in that tier? Is Deion in that tier?
You got to put him in that tier now, not because I
did ask you about that.
You got to
would definitely like to think he's in that tier. Yes.
You know why you put him in that tier? Not because of his winning, but because
obviously
of his status in the game. Well, yeah, obviously not because of winning, but it's because of his status in the game.
I'm questioning that. I'm questioning that status. I remember last week Ken told me I couldn't. It's blasphemous for me having Jim Harbaugh in the top 10 of my head coaches if he wins 7 or up to 7 games. Like that's crazy for me. So to me, it's like if you are Deion Sanders, you're well below 500 in your first season after you was talking hella shit, and you going into this season still talking shit like you win. Like we're saying Kirby Smart and say these niggas won games, bro. Like I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, they had a head start on this shit. That's fine. But he's at a Power 5 school and he said he was gonna change their life. So far, he's the best coach, he's the best coach they have, but that's not the Deion standard we're talking about. 4 games you can't talk shit about 4 games. I don't care who you are.
He did change their life. You think about it. Which one was the hardest ticket to get in college football last year? And you're right. If he doesn't win, people going to stop paying attention. But as of now, he's a polarizing figure, and he's filling those stands up. Butts are in those stands. People walk around with Colorado jerseys on. People walk around with Colorado gear all over the place. He's selling merch. These dudes are doing everything to make money for that university right now. So them people are happy.
Hey, Shelton. Wait, hold on, Shelton. To add to your point, I do agree. Deion has changed their life. Who has the biggest NIL deal in college football? Shador.
Can I read y'all something? Can I read y'all something? Mm-hmm. July 16, 2024, on a day when Georgia head coach Kirby Smart hoped to be discussing how his football team would play in the upcoming season, Smart was once again discussing his team's off-field behavior. And speaking to a group of reporters at SEC Media Day, Smart offered his first public comments after Small, London, and all those other guys were arrested in driving-related incidents. He said it's incidents we've had off the field and not something we condone, blah, 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 blah. He did not fucking run from the fucking situation. He answered the tough questions about stuff that happened with the team that was off the field. Very similar to domestic violence accusations as well. He is not running. I was sitting here Googling, looking for Nick Saban. Did Nick Saban ban reporters? I couldn't find anything. You know what kept popping up? Deion Sanders. You don't fucking be a coward and run from situations like that, like he did in the first go round, and people kind of just brushed it aside like that. And now, because he got away with it that time on a much more serious issue, he was able to do it again on something that was on these personal attacks. The issue is that if Deion is able to control how coverage is dictated on his team, then when serious issues like what happened at Jackson State or what could potentially happen or maybe happen in Colorado come up, who's going to fucking hear about it? Because Deion Sanders won't allow the questions to be asked. How y'all cool with that?
I wasn't gonna go. You got Kenny on here preaching on the mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna go that far. All I'm just saying is like it's a slippery slope. That nigga, he Dion don't give a fuck. We clearly can see if he got the power to do some shit, he gonna do some shit. Like that's all I like. What other coach we talking about and we clapping our hands for with that kind of power? We're not doing that. Even with the Nick Sabans, even with the Kirby Smarts, we wouldn't. Again, we're not condoning that. That's the thing I agree with Ken. It's just like as me being a nigga in the spot. If I had the power to do all that shit, Sheldon, if you had the power to talk to your boss whenever you wanted to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that'd be awesome.
That's awesome, bro. But you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Got that power.
You ain't got that power. You ain't supposed to, because you would abuse it. Everybody would. That's the thing that I'm saying.
All right, let's move on. With this past weekend being the conclusion of the preseason, are there any burning questions on any player teams going into the regular season that you guys may have?
I got one. Sheldon, I know you always like to, talk about the AFC North a lot. So we're gonna talk about a team that, y'all favorite coach. As far as my concern, outside of Kyle Shanahan, what's going on in Pittsburgh? I need to know what's this QB room looking like, Sheldon. Who's starting on day one, and are you betting money on that game?
And Russ is starting day one. Russ been the starter the whole time. I think they knew it this whole time. They did give Justin a chance to take the job, but he didn't do anything to separate himself. And Russ was who they really wanted to do it anyway. More important than the quarterback for that team, who's going to start at running back? And I think it's going to be Jalen Warren. Warren is going to be the running back over Najee, which is bigger news to me. But
is it?
Yeah, he is. He's going to start. I think
so you the first person on this program. This first person on this program to mention Najee Harris talking about that running back situation. We don't give a damn about that because we all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted Justin Fields to win this job. Because for one, he's younger.
That's not true. That's not true. Stop.
Listen
to me.
Listen to me. It would make more sense if he did. Because for one, he's younger. He's younger. Two, they can extend him on a cheaper deal than he's ever going to get as far as paying a quarterback these days. And three, Fields has more potential to be a better quarterback right now than Russell Wilson. Or at least he had up until the preseason.
How? And Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. How is that possible?
Because I said right now.
How long ago was it?
It's
when did he win that Super Bowl, Spike?
About 10 years ago. That's what I'm saying.
So it's a wrap. And then here's the thing too, Spike. He hasn't been consistent since.
And Justin Fields has?
Wait, hold on.
What are y'all talking about?
Wait, hold on, Spike. I got you, Spike. Russell Wilson has not shown the ability to age gracefully.
Yes.
He had one or two good seasons after the Super Bowl run, and then it's kind of like a dumpster fire. Where Justin Fields still has upside, limited upside, with every year that goes forward that he doesn't flash more than he sucks. Pause. He still has an upside. There's still a reason to play him to see what you can get out of him. Where Russell Wilson, we know what it is. Russell Wilson is a bridge quarterback at best, where Justin Fields' title is potential starter.
Only on Madden, FIFO.
Nah,
Not
Yeah,
in the real world.
Justin
nah.
Fields.
Not
Yeah,
In the real world,
that's
so
a
so
Madden statement.
people.
That's I
Justin
play
Fields is not
Madden and
going
he
to
good
start.
on Madden statement. Bro,
so wait,
Russell
so are you
Wilson
saying
had a
wait, hold on.
much better season. Russell Wilson had a much better season than Justin Fields did last year. When the Steelers were looking to bring both of them in, even after like they brought Russell Wilson in first and then they brought Justin Fields in, they still wanted Russell Wilson to be the guy that takes that job because he has more experience. He has won a Super Bowl. They hope that Justin Fields can learn from
So
this.
this is the difference between the
correct.
two. This is the difference between the two. Justin Fields is all physical. Russell Wilson is all
I don't know
mental.
what that means.
Correct.
No, that's not
Meaning,
true.
it's
not true.
Meaning,
Just
meaning,
last
wait,
year,
hold on, Spike. Meaning that Justin Fields has a bigger arm. Meaning that Justin Fields is faster. Meaning that anything that requires a level of physical ability, Justin Fields is the superior athlete. When we're talking about experience,
except when
IQ,
winning games.
when we're talking about experience, IQ, the quarterbacking, yes, Russell Wilson is better because, like you said, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But we know what he is. We still have yet to completely determine what Justin Fields is as a player.
Correct. Here's the thing, though, FIFO. Here's why.
Real quick, Sheldon. Real quick. Mike Tomlin is in one of the last years of his contract. He ain't trying to do this shit forever.
No, he got a contract extension.
He did, but it ain't that long. He ain't trying to coach that long, is what I'm saying, Nick. I'm not waiting on Justin Fields to develop when I can put Russell Wilson in and we can start winning right now. That's how they look at it.
But the way
let's Sheldon.
Yeah,
they're gonna give Justin Fields a shot, I believe, before the year is over with. But we're gonna start with the experience, and the reason why the main knock on Justin Fields is his pocket awareness, and he holds the ball too long. You can't hold the ball behind this line, and you can't be indecisive. That's why they're gonna start Russ, because he's the veteran. He's had time to kind of be there and learn it and get in there and start. So that's what they're going with. And the reason why I tell y'all the running back position to me is more important than the quarterback is because last year they won with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky as quarterbacks and Rudolph. So it's saying that we know
that wasn't because of
Najee.
That wasn't because of Najee, bro. So
no, it wasn't because of Najee. It was because of the running back duo and the defense. So who you got pushing the rock is going to be important for this team. Who's running the ball is going to take the pressure off the quarterback.
You talked about sacks. Who were the number 1 and 2 most sacked quarterbacks in the league last season? The two guys in Pittsburgh. The two guys in Pittsburgh. So at the end of the day, my point is simply this, Spike. And I think both of these quarterbacks are going to get a shot. I think Russell Wilson is going to start. We're going to see bad Russ, and Justin Fields may finish the season. At the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a situation where if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. And there's not a guy. See, look, Justin Fields had an opportunity earlier in the season, right, during training camp, to literally take the job. In practice, when Russell Wilson was out, Justin Fields looked good. The moment that we got to that first preseason game and he fumbled those snaps, he lost the job. But at the end of the day, Spike, he still has upside because we don't know 100% what he is. Do we know about 80, 85%? Yes. We know he holds the ball. Everything that Shelton said, we know those things. But there's still an opportunity for him to get better.
FIFO, you guys have been saying this since they drafted him in Chicago. Oh, there's so much upside. Oh, there's these flashes of brilliance that we see from Justin Fields. They gave him the opportunity, as you just said, when Russell Wilson was hurt, to take this starting job, and he still could do it. He's not the dude that y'all think he is. Yes, the physical attributes are there. That's true, but he's still not a good NFL quarterback. We said that all last year when he was with I said that all last year when he was with the Bears. Russell Wilson is the best chance for them to win, and that's what Mike. Yeah, look, he's not going to win games. He's not going to put Justin Fields in because Justin Fields is not an NFL quarterback. He's not that good,
Spike,
bro.
You can have your feelings, but at the end of the day, that roster and those players.
It ain't my feelings, people. I'm talking about what you said.
It's your feelings.
You said this.
It's your feelings.
You've been telling me for a year and a half You've been telling me for a year and a half that Justin Fields was good. And
No,
now they gave him the
I said he has
opportunity
upside.
to win the starting job with a decent team that went to the playoffs last year, and niggas is looking like the meme. Like, I don't know,
The
bro.
players on that roster, who do they prefer? The players on that roster.
I don't know.
They're all saying Justin. That's
Hold
what the
on.
reports
Let
are
me
saying.
let me
I don't
let me
believe that.
let me
I
ask
don't
this
believe
question. Let me ask this question to Sheldon and Lou. And Ken, you can answer it to if you want. All right. Do y'all believe that this QB room is better than the one that was last year?
I
The
do.
Steelers?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Steelers QB.
Yeah.
You think it's
I do.
the better QB one?
Yeah.
Ken, would you agree?
It's better. It's better.
It should be based off the experience of Russell Wilson, but I'm not.
Mason
you know.
Rudolph. Come on, Mason Rudolph. And
My follow-up
what's
question,
the other dude
Ken
name?
dancing around on it. My follow-up question is: they won 10 games last year with that quarterback room that they had. Do y'all think, or would y'all be willing to bet that they win the exact same amount of games they did last year with a better QB room based off what y'all just said? Since y'all said
Maybe
it's a better.
less. Maybe
So you're
less.
Not
willing.
necessarily.
So you
'Cause
don't.
you got-
Would you bet,
you
Sheldon?
got-
I know your goofy ass don't want to bet on shit. If it's 10 toes, would you stand 10 toes on it? They're gonna win the exact same games because, like you said,
exact
it's a better
same game.
if it's a better QB room, then they should at least win the same amount of games that the shittier one, right? With that defense and the
How many
run game,
games
like
they win? 10?
he won 10.
It's the
If Russ
Steelers,
start the
man.
whole season, they can win 10 games. I'll say that.
They
I'll
they
say
can
that.
definitely win 10 games. It's the Steelers though, man. This team has a lot of deficiencies in a lot of areas, so it's hard to put your money on what they got going on. The receiver room is different. It's a different team. So we
I
just
didn't
got to
ask
see
all
what
that shit. I
it
just
look
asked,
like.
would
Do I
you
believe in
bet?
Mike Tomlin? Yes.
Would you
So I
bet?
think he'll get you 10
bet
games.
would you bet on 10
10
games?
games? Yes. I
Y'all
bet
bullshit.
10 games.
Y'all books. Ken, you betting 10 games?
Yeah, they should win 10 games.
Not in that division.
Y'all bullshit.
Not with a healthy Joe Burrow.
Would y'all have said that
Taylor
last
Lamar.
year? If we had the same discussion, would y'all have said that last year? I know it was last year,
No.
but I'm just asking.
I would not have. I would have said
If
8 and
I would,
8 and 9.
yeah, I wouldn't have said they would have won 10 games either. And also I would have doubled down on that by saying if Burrow wasn't hurt, they definitely wasn't going to win 10 games. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Nick Doppelganger, man. Mike Tomlin, best coach in the league.
Hey, we're gonna see about this season. We're gonna see
Best
this
coach in the league.
Well, I think that Justin Fields never really had a shot at winning the starting job. It was always going to be Russell Wilson's job. Tomlin was just
when Wilson got hurt. When he got hurt,
yeah, it was all game.
They gave him the opportunity.
Yeah, I think Tomlin was just saying that, just wanted to create the illusion that he had a shot to win. You know, if they put Justin now to what you're saying, like if he balled out, maybe. But he had to play. He would have to play exceptional, not average, not above average. I'm talking about fucking exceptional, bro.
Yeah,
you know. But outside of that, they want Russell Wilson. They're not trying to go down that hole again with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. They want the guy. That's who they went and got, and that's who they're gonna start. And it's up to him to just shit the bed.
I feel like it's more of like they willing to accept the butterhead, but they want a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that Justin Fields just didn't pan out the way that
he not a bad bitch. His breath stink. You know, you find a bad bitch and her breath stink.
It's worse, Lou. She bad, but her teeth jacked up. That's what it is. She got a baby shark grill.
Got the little bitty teeth.
Oh
shit, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But that's on Justin Fields. He didn't do what he needed to do. So it is what it is. He'll be there. He's supposed to learn if he can, and then that'll be that. I don't think the Steelers lose out really in any sort of way, because I think they got Justin Fields with damn near nothing. and Russell Wilson, I can't remember what they got
This
him
is
for.
what
So
happens
it
when
is
you
what it is.
go. This is what happens when you go bargain bin hunting, Lou. That's basically what I'm saying. This y'all can't be y'all acting like this shit is we going from shit to shine, nigga. Y'all went into the Walmart bin and y'all came up with a Rolly and a and some damn
They thought they had
Jordans.
some good
And
deals.
when you find
Yeah.
out they both fake, you upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been critical of Russ for the last couple of years. So, and I think I read a report that says he actually holds the football pretty long too. So, that ball, so it's not like it's going to be any better with him or Justin Fields in
Yeah.
there. You just get an experienced quarterback that know the guy he should be throwing through. We just don't throw it to him.
We ain't gonna shit on Justin Fields like that. Come on, yeah.
A lot
We'll
of it
see.
is going to have to do with Arthur Smith too, the
It's
offensive
just the
coordinator.
truth. It's just the truth, Nick.
The truth is he was set up to lose, bro. This is the same thing Franklin Saint taught us in season 3 is a snowfall, season 4. Regardless, he was gonna lose. He was gonna sell
What?
drugs regardless.
Anything
Yeah, the
else?
opportunity.
Anything else you guys have about the preseason?
Nah, not really.
Let me see. Dang, it's got to be something. Oh, finally, the Cowboys. Well, hey, Nick is Chase gonna play?
I already knew your punk ass. Your punk ass.
No, I'm just asking, man. I'm
Move
just
on,
asking because I don't know.
Sheldon, this is what the beat reporters be doing. Is in your local.
You gonna ban me?
That's why you got banned. This is why Sheldon gonna get banned right here.
I'm gonna get banned.
This is exactly what they'll bring up to Zach Taylor. Yo, you see, CD Lamb got paid. What's going on with Jamal? Zach Taylor looking at that nigga like, bro, get the fuck out of here. No, what happens is Jamar gonna get paid, bro. Like he gonna get paid. This is like when your girl asking for a ring, and this is only the first month y'all dating. Like, bitch, can you wait? Like, if you that good, you go get it. Like, regardless, like what you in a rush for? Like, he gotta wait till next year. Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the league by most, didn't even get paid until his 4th year. Minnesota was doing the same shit with him. We wasn't really talking about it like that. He got paid. He got the highest bread. Then now CD got it. My thing is with Jamar is like, I'm not, upset with him trying to get his money. It's just like it also helps you to wait because all these dudes get paid. You have to top that contract.
Yeah, CD Lamb just got a 4-year, $136 million deal that includes a record-setting $36 million signing bonus. So while you're on the topic, Nick, like any other takeaways from this news? I know it's your boys up next. You were kind of leaning that way.
Yeah, he up next. I think when it comes just from the Cowboys, I think they playing an interesting game, Ken. they playing the ultimate game of chicken because the GM and the owner the same nigga. So you can't really talk shit about one without the other one hearing it. And I say that because Jerry is. I feel like Jerry is like, bro, Dak, if you can't win right now, you ain't gonna never win it. We'd rather let your ass go. But it's crazy to say that in a league where the Jordan Loves, the Tua Tagovailoas, and the Brock Purdy's upcoming are going to get paid hella bread, and we all think they not even top 5 for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you're not paying Dak, who you paying? Because we seen with Trey Lance. That's another thing we skipped over that in preseason because we didn't even want to talk about that. Trey Lance threw about 10 picks in 2 quarters. So it's just like
he also went to the NFC Championship game.
The team went to the NFC Championship.
I mean, I thought you were talking about Love. Excuse me, I thought you were talking about Love. Never mind.
No. Love ain't go to he go to the NFC Championship game.
Well, he almost went to if he hadn't thrown that dumbass pass.
And I almost got Halle Berry, Lou. What I did. So I'm just saying, like,
he gonna be a Raider next year.
I just think the Cowboys are in I've never seen an owner kind of play chicken with a quarterback like this when he's a MVP caliber quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think he paying the quarterback as the first. You'll pay the quarterback before you pay the receiver. We've seen that. We've seen that in Cincinnati. So it's just like,
well, the Cincinnati quarterback went to the Super Bowl. The Dallas quarterback has not. And I think what Dallas makes a statement in saying in this is we don't believe in Dak. We believe in CD Lamb, and we'll make him the head of our franchise, and he's a star wide receiver, similar to Michael Irvin, but we don't believe in Dak Prescott, and we'll make him play this out.
And how do you think that's gonna work out for y'all, Lou? Because who gonna give that wide receiver the football if you ain't got a good quarterback?
Well, I think that they think that Trey Lance will. I think
Okay,
we've seen.
I hope they don't think
And
that.
again, I'm on. Y'all can laugh. I'm
no,
on record. I'm on record with telling y'all how I feel. I don't even think Trey Lance is a professional quarterback. Hence the reason he played the whole preseason game. I think that they think in Dallas after this year, Dak will go on about his way to the Raiders or whoever's going to pay him $60 million a year,
The Raiders.
and they will sign Trey Lance and they will draft a younger quarterback and try to develop them. And maybe that means Mike McCarthy with a contract extension if he does a great job with Trey Lance, but that's what it's gonna be. Like they put their feet in, they drew the line in the sand when they paid CeeDee Lamb all this money, because you're not going to be able to pay CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons and Dak Prescott top tier deals and still think that you're able to compete. So I think from what Jerry has shown us and how he's treated Dak over all these years, it's like, bro, if you win a Super Bowl this year, of course we'll bring you back. That's cool. But if you do the same thing that you've been doing in the playoffs over your career, then we'll let you go. And we'll try to sign a cheaper QB and put more talent around him because we trust our drafting skills. We drafted CeeDee Lambs and Michael Parsons and all these great linemen and DeMarcus Lawrence and all these people who have been good to our franchise. We feel like that we can build a good team, and we don't need Dak Prescott to win a Super Bowl.
Hey, Lou,
We just need somebody serviceable right there.
Lou, blink
That's what they
twice.
think.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
Oh,
Because I swear you are reading some type of. I swear you're reading some type of prompt.
What's wrong about what I
Because
said?
you sound insane. You literally sound insane for saying
In
that.
what
you
part?
think,
In what part?
In the part that you
All
think
of
that. In the part that you think that Trey
All of it.
Lance. The part you think that Trey Lance.
I
is a
didn't say
super-
that. I said they
No,
think
listen,
that
listen,
Trey
listen.
Lance can start for them next year.
We let you talk. Let me talk.
No,
You started by saying that Trey Lance is going to bridge you over to you drafting a
I did.
quarterback and building a team around that guy to compete. When all that is going to take time, by the time that CeeDee Lamb's deal is done, is probably when the time. Even if y'all do draft a quarterback, that he'll be ready. Let's keep it a bean because y'all don't have a good a rapport with drafting quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds. At least in the last 20 years, because Romo was our undrafted free agent and Dak was a 4th round pick, 3rd, 4th round pick. So, like, if you're trying to draft early, we ain't seen it done since Troy Aikman. I don't think that y'all drafted well.
He's the Hall of Famer. So
And that was about 30 years ago. So my thing is, the timeline you talking about, the things you saying just sound stupid when you could just pay the nigga that you got right now, who's at least keeping you in the
why would you
playoffs.
pay him? Why would you pay him though?
Because he's at least
Because
because you are at least a
he's-
guaranteed. You're a
He's
guaranteed
the only
something
reason
like
you're
that.
contending.
Exactly.
That's not true. That's not
Dak
true.
is the best
Not
player
true.
on your
That's
team.
not
I don't
true.
know. I don't
He's
know.
not. Michael Parsons.
He's top
is the
3
best
on your
player.
team. He's top 3
No.
on your team.
He's not.
No,
there's
Michael Parsons.
games. There's
He's
games
not
where
even
Michael
top 3.
Parsons not even there. He's not top 3
No.
He better than Parsons, bro. Last year proved that.
for your.
Okay,
for
no,
Dak is
your
not-
team.
Dak is not better.
Even if
Listen,
he's,
man.
Even if he's not, wait, hold on, Spike. Even if he's not, okay. So I give you Parsons. I give you CD. Who's next?
When you say who's next, what do you mean? Am I going to
In terms of the top
quarterback?
3 on the roster,
You said
I'm
he's
going
not
Dak
top
is
3.
at least the 3rd best player on that
Diggs.
roster. Get the
Diggs.
fuck out of here.
And
Hey,
Diggs was
Hey,
defensive
come
player
on.
of the year competition
Blink
when he
twice.
was not
Come
healthy.
on,
Blink
man.
twice.
Yeah.
Hey, kid. He
Y'all
said,
capping.
Y'all capping for Dak.
Kid, he said, "What do you mean
Y'all
when you
capping
ask
for
me
Dak.
who's
Y'all are
next?"
capping for Dak because y'all listen to the mainstream media and think that he need to be paid.
Nah,
Dak
look,
ain't
look,
done
look,
shit in the playoffs to get
We
$60
talked
million
about
a year.
we talked about this though. We talked about this though, Lou. And you're right, he hadn't done much in the playoffs, but we talked about this. When you get a quarterback that can play at this level and he's a top 5 performer, I'm not saying he's top 5 quarterback. I'm just saying when you look at his stats and what he brings to the table, he's top 5 and getting the ball where it needs to be, correct? You got to pay him. You do, because you ain't just Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is your, please be Trey
They
Lance.
gave a 4th round pickup for Lance. That's the reason he's there.
Hey,
It
look.
don't matter.
Luke,
Please let it be
as
Trey
much
Lance.
as-
We watched him.
As much
I don't
as
understand.
you dislike Dak, the fact of the matter is the last 2 seasons, Dak has been the quarterback for the number 1 offense in the NFL. Last 2 seasons. Not just one.
And
It wasn't
that's-
fluky. He
That's
backed it
gotten
up.
us to divisional round
but-
playoff
but-
losses.
But
It
at the
don't
end of
matter.
at the end of the day, Spike, if
I can
you
get
are the
Geno
quarterback,
Smith.
hold on,
Bro,
no, you can't.
bro, I
No,
can
you
get
can't.
Geno
He's better
Smith
than
if I want to
Geno.
get a divisional
No.
round playoff loss. Is
Spike.
he? Is he better than
Spike,
Geno?
yes,
Stop.
bro.
If he was better than Geno, we
wouldn't
wouldn't have gave CeeDee Lamb all that money.
This is your delusion Dallas Cowboy fandom talking. Because look, at the end of the day, as much as I say Dak is mediocre, right? 2 years leading the number one offense doesn't mean you're mediocre. Now, I'm not saying that you're elite.
You just said it was mediocre, though.
Who said it was mediocre?
You said he was You said that. You just said as
When?
much as I say he's mediocre. You said that.
I
Just
said
now.
he's not mediocre. No, I said he's not. Maybe my AirPod ain't clear. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, when you have led back-to-back seasons as the number one offense, and we know Dak at minimum is mid-tier. At minimum. You say he's not even top 3 on the roster. I call BS, Spike. You can't be the number one offense with a mid-tier QB. That just doesn't happen. Name the last time that has happened.
Brock Purdy.
It don't
above
happen.
average. He's above average.
They
It's
were
mid-
never number one.
I don't
Ken.
know if you're saying mid-tier and above average are the same thing, but Dak is above average. Yes, I'll give you that. He above average. He better than Derek Carr,
Well,
Trevor Lawrence. Like he better than those people. If that's
That's not
what you
saying
want me to
Mid-tier
say,
is
yes.
average.
Lou,
That's
I
not saying
understand
much
your
of it.
frustration, but what you're saying is wrong, bro.
And
Either
what's
way, I just find it funny that there's a lot of shitting on Dak, but there's a lot of caping
I'm
for
not
Dak
shitting
right
on
now too.
Dak.
Not from you,
I'm
Lou,
not shitting on Dak.
because
Okay.
you always shit on him. It's fine, but it's just on this program. There's a lot of shitting on Dak, but y'all
shit on
caping for Dak a lot right now too.
I'm-
it's
I'm-
kind of
I'm-
weird.
It's me.
I've-
It's
I've
me.
had it.
It's me.
You're right,
Ken.
Ken.
You're right. It's me.
I've
Like
had a
Dak and Kirk Cousins are the same. Like that's equivalent. So
Can I
would y'all
point out-
give would y'all give Kirk Cousins $60 million a year to save your franchise?
Shit, the
Y'all would do
Falcons did.
I mean, it's the
Falcons
Falcons,
did.
bro.
And the
It's the
difference
Falcons.
between those two guys
how many
is
rings
that
the
Dak
Falcons
has
got?
more physical ability than Kirk Cousins. So if they're
They about-
around the
it-
same
it
tier,
washes
the
out.
difference
It
is
washes
physical
out,
ability.
though.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
It
Because
washes
Kirk,
out.
Kirk
Dak
has
don't
never,
use
Kirk
his
has
physical
never
ability.
been the number one offense. Kirk don't got that on his resume. Dak has it back to back.
Kirk ain't never been an MVP candidate.
Nah.
That's not true.
Well, Spike, I understood what you were saying in your analysis of them paying CeeDee Lamb and looking to Trey Lance or getting somebody in the draft. I understood you were not saying this is what you were saying, but what you think the organization is thinking. Spike,
Yes.
I would like to point out, however, that the year that they drafted Dak Prescott, do you know the 2 quarterbacks that they wanted before him?
No.
Paxton Lynch, and when they didn't get Paxton Lynch, they wanted Connor Cook.
Yep.
So if that's the faith that you have in them drafting a quarterback,
You talking about Michigan
good luck,
State,
brother.
Michigan State Connor Cook?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of good.
Boy.
And you
Nah,
have to
I
be a
honestly
football
think
head from that area.
in response
To
to
know
that, Ken, I honestly think that they think that Trey Lance is like, y'all know how I feel about Trey Lance. FIFO has quoted me several times as saying that I don't even think he's a professional quarterback. But working with Mike McCarthy and what people say that he is with quarterbacks, giving him a year, I think that Jerry Jones thinks that next year he thinks that he'll be able to start Trey Lance. And if I got CeeDee Lamb and if I got Micah Parsons locked up into deals and I got a nice offensive line, then that's going to be my starting quarterback. Hence you seeing him going out and playing a full preseason game and throwing 5 interceptions so he can get the kinks out. You got a whole year to do this. We're going to let Dak rock this whole year. We're going to let you rock in practice. And then next year, when it's time to start, Trey Lance will be the starting quarterback. CeeDee Lamb will be the starting team. And they're going to expect CeeDee Lamb, just like J.J. Jefferson is for the Vikings, they're going to expect him to carry this team and not the
I
quarterback.
can't wait.
Hey,
I would
CeeDee
expect
Lamb
them-
gonna
Yeah,
attack
Lou, I would
that
expect them-
ass, bro.
Lou, what I expect them to do, you're halfway right. It ain't gonna be Trey Lance. I expect them to bring in a free agent quarterback.
Well, we're not going to have a high enough draft.
It ain't gonna.
And there are no
No.
other free agents.
No, I'm talking about these middle of the road quarterbacks. It's not going to be Trey Lance. I just don't think they believe in Trey Lance enough for him to be that guy. I don't
think
see
that
him.
he-
No,
being
I think I see where Luke going, Shelton.
I don't think that's been decided yet.
He
I
looked
think
terrible.
Why
Jerry-
trade for him? I know he looked terrible.
He looked
Why
terrible.
trade for him?
because it's Jerry
Exactly.
Jones.
No, I gave up a 4th round pick.
That's
for
not
this
an
dude,
answer.
bro.
That's not
Jerry
a
Jones is.
football
That
answer.
is the
No,
answer.
no.
And to the point that Ken and I are
Jerry
making,
Jones don't know what he's doing.
I didn't resign. I'm not resigning my main quarterback. I got this dude right here. I'm giving him all the reps. I want to make sure he's getting all the coaching from Mike McCarthy. They think that next year he is going to be ready to start.
Nah,
especially if I got CeeDee Lamb.
From that, they're gonna move on from that. But
yeah, to me, Ken, like I understood what Lou was saying, but he was saying it like he believes in that plan that they have, and that's insane.
Stop it, Nick. I did not say that. I said this is what they're doing. I didn't say
you
I'm
indirectly said
no,
that.
You
support everything Dallas.
Yeah, you were explaining.
I mean, I'm a fan.
You were explaining the reasoning why you feel like this went down, and then you said that in your Lou way of like, I'm
trying to wrap my head around it.
I don't fuck with this nigga anyway. So him leaving pleases me. So I gotta buy into the plan. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to wrap my head around it as a fan. That's it.
I get it, Lou. He will be a Raider next year.
Yeah,
hey, Ken, you?
Yeah, Dak gonna be a Raider next year.
Yeah, Dak will be a Raider next year.
Yeah,
Ken, I meant to answer your question earlier.
Or a Giant, a Raider or a Giant.
He'll be a Raider. The Giants ain't that smart. To answer your question, Ken, I'm excited to see some of these rookies. Daniels from the Washington, even some of the second-year players like Anthony Richardson with the Colts. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna look like going into the season because they're saying that like Jaden Daniels is that guy. And I always felt he was talented, but I want to see it translate to the NFL game and see how it looks against that first.
You'll see early. You'll see early in the season. They play the Bengals on Monday Night Football, week 3, I think.
Washington.
Yeah, Washington. I don't know how they gave them a primetime game early in the season, but you'll see them play again. We'll be. I think we're at Washington. But yeah, you're gonna see. It's gonna be LSU versus LSU.
That'll be good. They're saying, Nick, and I'm not making this up. I saw it in an article today. There's some people saying that Daniels may be better than Joe Burrow. I'm like, come on, man. He didn't play the down yet.
That's fine. But I think he's the most.
Say that.
I think he's the most talented QB Washington's had since RG3.
He's going to be worth watching. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's gonna be about like RG
Sundays. I want to see. Yeah, when
like RG3's rookie year. People forget how that RG3 came into the league. He came in. Didn't he throw like 300, 400 yards in New Orleans that first week? Like, yeah, I think Jaden Daniels gonna do some things, and they got a good roster as far as receivers.
It's so crazy too because I watched Jaden Daniels at Arizona State, and I'm telling you, man, this dude don't look the same. Like, look like a totally different dude. And
that was 6 years ago, though.
Yeah,
he was at Arizona State.
I'm saying that, no. I'm talking about the way he plays the game. That don't change. It can be time, but the way you play the game don't change very often. And he changed his whole game around. He didn't look like a pro quarterback. You wouldn't have thought you normally see a pro quarterback and be like, yeah, he gonna make it. But I didn't see that at all at Arizona State.
Yeah, so I agree. I remember watching him. Yeah, I remember watching him at Arizona State thinking he was really raw, but not thinking that he would be someone that people are projecting to be the rookie of the year in the NFL. I agree with that.
I'll save my hot takes for the list.
Yeah, well, we're about to jump into the list, but Spike, The Athletic, they got an article. I think you're on to something, bro. Jerry Jones, he talking your guy up, man. I'm gonna send it to y'all. He talking him up, bro.
I'm telling you, I see what they doing, bro.
It's not even what you see. What he did, obviously, Jerry Jones was cussing at everybody in that. I don't know what type of interview he did. He was like, "Nigga, can't nobody run the fucking."
He said, "I'm gonna go.
Cowboys
I run this team. Even if I die tomorrow, nigga, fuck these people. They can't even run it like me." I seen it.
Right in the ground.
He's about to. He lucky.
Stop it, though, there was a list that put out by Pro Football Talk, and they did the top draft classes of all the teams in the NFL over the last 14 years, I think, from 2013 to now. The Cowboys were top 3. The Ravens, I think, were number 2.
You said the last 14 years?
Yes. So
you said
it's not Ravens, that Jerry Jones.
And who else?
I think the Ravens were number 4. The Cowboys were number 3. I don't know who the top 2 were, but it speaks to the fact that Jerry Jones doesn't do a terrible job at GM. They draft good players. Like you can
Here
think
we
about through
go.
the years, from Zach Martin to CeeDee Lamb to Michael
Here we go.
Parsons to Dak
Go ahead.
Prescott. The players that are drafted are good. The results, that's a different story.
Hey,
But doesn't that
company
but
Lou.
That
but
ain't got
Spike,
nothing to do with
to
Jerry
every
Jones.
other,
gotta get to
Before
the
you get
list.
started,
I know. Hold
that
on,
ain't got
Ken.
nothing
Hold
to
on,
do with
Ken.
Jerry Jones.
It does because what we do is we
Don't.
spread the blame around to the GM as well when the GM doesn't get it done and the GM gets fired. In this case, yes, Jerry Jones has done a pretty good job of accumulating talent, but he hasn't done a good job of either head coaching or creating a winning environment because we know who created that winning environment. It wasn't Jerry Jones when they won them Super Bowls.
Gotcha. All
You're
right,
right.
man.
Jimmy Johnson was the Seahawks were the top team. The Seahawks were number one.
All right. Rob said Deion is about to ban me. Okay. He probably already has. All right. Let's do these top 10 quarterback lists. We know why you guys are here. So let's not keep you guys waiting too much longer.
Let's see who Jalen puts first. Let's see who got the craziest list.
I should go last. I know that.
Please. Oh.
Chalk, straight chalk. That's why you first, Nick. Straight chalk.
I had a debate with this list. I hope Jalen don't listen to these niggas. He just picked me because I like to start the
list
show.
with some slaw.
Yeah,
You had the most safe list. That's why he picked you first, and nobody's gonna disagree with it.
It's not safe. It's just I got facts.
It's safe.
Let's go through 10 through 6.
He got Joe Burrow at number 1.
Let's go 10 through 6. Now, if I had Joe Burrow number 1, then he would have saved me for last. Number 10, I have Brock Purdy. This is his contract year, basically, because after this year, he can get the extension if he wants. This is a big year for him. The offensive line ain't shit, especially without Trent Williams. They probably have one of the worst off seasons outside of the Cowboys as far as like dealing with hella contract talks at 2 big positions. Brock Purdy has not been looking good in practice, been throwing picks, and you also got the injury, and you also got the injury bug lingering around. I have him at 10 because he went to the Super Bowl last year, so he should be on the list. At number 9, the guy who should have beat him to get to the NFC Championship game, Jordan Love. While I do think he's got a lot of hype, I liked what he looked like in preseason, and I think with Matt LaFleur coaching, they could be a top 4, top 3 seed in the NFC. Number 8, I got CJ Stroud. Had a phenomenal rookie year. I think he could back it up, but I'm not thinking he's going to be top 5 next season, but I think he'll be close in the top 8 as I got him. Number 7 with Dak Prescott, because I think as much as I don't believe in him no more, I was a big defender of him because of his numbers and because of how much he wins. I think it's only the Chiefs have won.
I didn't even know Shelton had kids, bro.
Wrong kids. Had to get daddy mode on real quick.
Oh, bro.
Oh, that was like a Living Color skit.
It was.
Oh, man.
Mute this man.
You know how to use mute, Shelton? You know how to use mute?
That's hilarious. Number 7, I got
muted.
Oh shit, that was funny.
Number 7, I had Dak.
Damn.
I had Dak Prescott. Number 6, I was battling myself with this pick as far as 6 and 7 because I could really interchange them, but Jalen did go to the Super Bowl more recently than Dak has ever been. So that's what I'm still counting on. And I think the way Dak went out in the playoffs last year was a little bit worse than Jalen Hurts, even though the Eagles were sputtering. But let's get to the top 5. At top number 5, I know it may sound crazy, Lou, but I got your boy Jared Goff at 5 because I think he is going to be a lot better than he was last year. And he took the Detroit Lions to the NFC Championship game last year. So if I'm saying he's going to be better, that's the statement. Number 4, I got Josh Allen. I like how he ended last season by taking back the division. That's why you don't see 2 on my list.
Jared Goff is crazy.
Number 3, I have Lamar Jackson because the nigga win game and he was just coming off a MVP season. Number 2, I got Joe Burrow because he's the only one that can knock off number 1, which is Leroy Mahomes. I think the top 5 is solid. I think no one could beat that top 5.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Nick.
Yeah,
Well,
I got a
Yeah,
better
I don't know
top
about
five.
your
I
whole
got a better
list.
5 than that.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
say
I
this.
got a better 5 than that.
Jalen said that the craziest list is going last for everybody watching and for everybody on the panel.
So
That's
he
Jalen's
gonna
You
pin
already
you
know
last.
that's Spike.
I'm about to say that
Yeah,
might be a walk. That might be
yeah.
Shelton.
That means Jalen's list might be crazy.
All right, that's
I
top
think.
5.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit!
Okay.
I'm surprised. Damn, Jalen, you let me down. Shit. All right. Number 10, Dak Prescott, man, because he had to be on the list. He had a great season. He had a great season last year. I don't want to completely shit on him, so I will put him on the list at number 10. I don't know what to expect from him this year. Number 9, Tua. I think that he can lead the Dolphins to win the AFC East this year. I think this will be a strong year from him. Him and the coach are in sync right now. Number 8, Glock. Shout out to Ken Purdy. That's my guy. I mean, Super Bowl appearance, what we talking about. Jordan Love beat my Cowboys and led his team to a reasonable playoff run. So I got him at 7. Number 6, Matthew Stafford. People forget what he's did out there. He's won a Super Bowl in LA and went to the playoffs last year when he shouldn't have. And I think they'll do even better this year. Top 5. Josh Allen, of course, great white hype. I know why people do what they do to him as far as choosing him. He is good. I don't know if he can take his team to the next level, but I do respect his talent. Number 4, the most impressive young quarterback that I've seen in a while is CJ Stroud. Number 3, Lamar. Only thing that keeps him from number 2 is his playoff wins and playoff success. I don't think that he's done as well as my number 2 pick, Joe Burrow, who's went to a Super Bowl, who's actually beaten the beast that we got at number 1, and everybody should have a number 1, and that's Patrick Mahomes. That's my list.
Okay.
I'm
Q
not-
Stafford was 6th.
I'm not mad at CJ Stroud being in the top 5, but I still feel like that's too early. I would have Matthew Stafford in the top 5 over CJ Stroud, though. If you're gonna say he got a Super Bowl and he took a team to the playoffs that shouldn't have been, you could say that about CJ. But
CJ Stroud did that shit in his rookie year. It took Matthew Stafford 11 years to do it.
Why you got him in your top 6?
It took him 11 years to do what CJ Stroud did in 1. That's why I got him top 4.
Some niggas don't never win a Super Bowl. That's Dan Marino.
True. I think there's no denying the top 3 though.
Oh, my list is not the craziest.
Uh-oh.
I already do it. This is probably the best list. At number 10, we have the passing leader of last season, Tua Tagovailoa. Definitely, to a degree, has earned the money that he's gotten. Definitely got to put in more work. Number 9, Aaron Rodgers. I know that he did not play a single snap for the Jets, but when I look at the arm talent that he still possesses, as long as he's healthy, and I saw something on ESPN, when he has when his defense gives up less than like 16 or 18 points or something like that, he's like 34-2, 36-2, something crazy. Aaron Rodgers still has juice in the arm. Matthew Stafford at number 8, for everything that Nick just recently said in regards to Stafford. That team, we had them dead in the water, and Matthew Stafford was a big reason. Dak Prescott has led the number 1 offense 2 years in a row. So as much as flack that I give Dak, he definitely had to be top 10. At number 6, I got Jordan Love, breakout kid of last year. It just took a little bit of time and taking off the training wheels for him to really flourish. All right, my top 5. At number 5, I got CJ Stroud. Nick, I'm with you. He did it in his rookie year. I still need to see more, but I think that the Texans did enough to definitely make sure that he doesn't falter and have a sophomore slump. So I like what he has, because I think he has it from a mental perspective and he has it from a physical perspective. So CJ Stroud at number 5, Josh Allen number 4, great white hype. The numbers, when you look across the board, he's only second to Patrick Mahomes when it comes to yards, touchdowns, this, that, and the third. So he definitely is deserving of a top 5 spot. Joe Burrow, I have at number 3. Obviously, this guy, the best ability is availability. He has not been available. Lamar Jackson at number 2 because he won another MVP. He is a multi-MVP winner, and there's not many of those guys in our league. So Lamar Jackson at number 2, Pat Mahomes, what the hell I got to say, bro? He might go for a 3-peat.
All right. Guess we down to the
Oh, Kenny
Ken got the
crazy.
crazy. Ken must got some. Ken got
Y'all
Joe
already
Milton.
know.
Ken got Joe Milton on this list. Ken got Joe
Ken
Milton
probably
on
got
this
Trey
list. Man.
Lance on his list.
He got Joe
Oh,
Milton on
my
his list. That's what it
Ken
is.
got Anthony Richardson at number 6.
Yep, he do.
And one.
This shit felt like some drama, like a reality show. Can't count it down to who's gonna be.
I did not want to be last. At 10, I got Tua for obvious reasons. Tua, he's made Tyreek Hill into, well, he ain't made him. He continued on what he's doing, but he's helped him to continue his strides, whereas we thought Tua was done. And he has that team looking good. At 9, I got CJ Stroud. I'm with you, Nick. I love CJ and what he's done. I always cap for him, but give me one more year of this, and then he's going to be skyrocketed. He's definitely top 5 for me after that. At 8, I got Jordan Love. Jordan Love, what he did at the end of the year was very impressive. He should have won that game, but he didn't. But still, it's very impressive, and he deserves to be in the top 10. At 7, I got Dak Prescott. I think he was MVP runner-up, Lou.
You love him. You love
Gotta
him.
give. I don't love him at all, but he's MVP
I just
runner-up.
want you to know Jalen
Hurts.
Hurts wasn't on my list. I want you to know that. Jalen Hurts.
I
That's how I
know,
hate the deep run for me. That's how deep the hate run for me. He wasn't on my list.
I know. I like that. And hopefully he'll show you what
I don't
he
put
can do.
running backs on my quarterback list.
I got you. But do you put Super Bowl participants on yours?
No. What's the next one?
At 6, I got Brock Purdy. For obvious reasons, Brock Purdy has been in the league. You know, every year he's been in the league. He's led his team far, and he's done what he's supposed to do.
Leading
So
is a
Brock
strong
Purdy-
word.
Hey, man, he was the quarterback, so you got to give him credit for being the leader.
Shit, we ain't give Trent Dilfer no credit. You gave Trent Dilfer credit?
You're right. I know. You're right. Okay, you got me there, Nick. But yeah, he was the quarterback on that team, so I give him credit for just being there. And he's 6 on my list for that reason. Now for my top 5, we're gonna start with Jalen.
Jalen Hurts is top 5.
Jalen is at 5.
Y'all put running
as
backs at
always.
5?
You know why? Super
crazy.
Bowl
You
the
have
last
Josh-
2 years.
Go ahead.
At 4, I got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got to prove to me this year you stay healthy. This is a proven year for me.
What does Josh Allen have to prove to you that Joe Burrow hasn't?
This is
Joe
a
Burrow
I
has
only
to
watch
stay
Eagles
healthy.
games list. I only watch Eagles games.
This is a list that shows me that Joe Burrow is not dependable if he's going to be injured more than he's playing. Y'all can't keep giving this man credit and putting him second, and he ain't on the field.
How was Josh?
How many years has Joe Burrow been to the? How many? Yeah, he did. That's why he's top 5.
Lamar Jackson went to. How many Super Bowls Lamar Allen? How many Super Bowls have Lamar Jackson?
That's
and
why
Josh
he's
Allen
top 5.
No,
So by your
I got
estimation, Spike, you got to put Jalen in your top 5 because he went to the last Super Bowl.
I got 2 questions
for you,
Sheldon. I got
Yes.
2 questions.
Let me finish my list first. Let me finish, then you can ask your question. But Joe Burrow is 4 for that reason. It's a proven year for Joe Burrow. He has to stay on the field. You can't justify putting him in number 2, and he missed almost 2 full seasons. At 3, we got Josh Allen, Mr. Dependable for that team. Josh Allen goes down. The Bills is through. We already know that. Lamar Jackson, the same thing for his team, and a 2-time MVP. And at 1, we got Patrick Mahomes. What's your question, Nick?
So number 1, how many AFC Championship games has Josh Allen taken the Bills to?
I don't know.
Just 1. Number 2,
This has been 1.
how dependable was Josh Allen when they faced the Bengals in the second round?
This past year?
No. When the last time that Josh Allen?
No. Because we can't deal with we can only deal with.
I'm just talking about the competition between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. That's what I'm just.
Is this like a all-time award, or are we talking about recent history?
I'm just saying. You said this is a proven year for Joe Burrow. The only thing that Joe Burrow has to prove. The only thing Joe Burrow has to prove is to win the Super Bowl. The main thing that Josh Allen has to prove is, can he beat Patty? Joe Burrow already proved that.
To prove it for Joe Burrow for me is to stay healthy. It really don't, we've seen
him healthy, and we've seen he can play. The only thing that we're asking him is just be consistent at it. I'm not saying like we making it seem like we ain't never seen Joe Burrow like healthy at all. Like when we seen him healthy, he's on prime time and he's
But
winning.
Nick, but he wasn't healthy last year, and Lamar won the
No,
MVP.
But
So I
the
don't know
last
how
time
you
that he
put
was
Joe
healthy,
Burrow
they went
over
to
the
the Super
MVP.
Bowl, bro.
The
I
last time,
understand that, but Lamar
what
was
difference does
MVP.
that
He
make?
should be number 2.
I'm saying
Yeah, regardless.
the last time we seen Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game is
Which one?
much longer than the last time we seen Joe Burrow. And we talking about a guy that is quote unquote unhealthy.
By the time it's time for the playoffs to run around, which one of them are we most likely to see still on the field? If one of them is gone,
Joe Burrow.
if you say there's an injury in those two, which
Don't
one
do
do you
that.
think
Don't do
really
that.
went down?
Don't do
I'm
that.
just
This is
being
the
honest.
first year that Lamar Jackson. This is the first year Lamar Jackson was healthy throughout the season. When we
Right.
did this show last
He-
season, when we sitting at the studio, we were worried about Lamar Jackson
Correct.
being available around playoff time.
Correct.
This is
And
the
he was
first year that he's
rewarded
been
by being number
available
2.
around playoff time.
And he
Right.
also
That's why he's
him and
on the list.
What did he do? He performed worse than Dak Prescott.
But
What does
what
that
did
say?
Joe Burrow do in the playoffs? Nothing, because
Joe
he
Burrow
wasn't
went to
there.
the
He's been
Super
hurt.
Bowl.
He went to
Joe
Super Bowl
Burrow
back
went to the Super Bowl.
in 2 AFC
Right.
championships.
2
And
years
in the
ago.
playoffs,
2
he
years
went to the
ago.
Super
You're
Bowl.
right.
When was the last
2
time
years
Josh
ago.
Allen went to the
Hey,
AFC?
Shelton.
That's what I'm
Shelton,
saying. Like,
I have
you
one
can't-
question on your list because we talk about the top 5. To me, CJ Stroud, you had Jordan Love over CJ Stroud when CJ
That
Stroud
was
had
tough.
but to me, CJ Stroud had like a better overall year because he was good at the beginning, the middle, and in the end. You know what I'm saying? Where Jordan Love struggled at
Yeah.
the beginning,
He
a
did
little bit in the
struggle.
middle, and then he. So I don't know how you put Jordan Love over CJ.
He caught
Jalen
fire,
Hurts.
and it was that was a tough one for me, FIFO. That could have been flip flop either way. I was impressed by both of them down the stretch. I didn't think either would have blossomed so fast. I thought both of them were going to be good quarterbacks, just not this fast. But that was like a flip flop for me, and both of them were hot down the stretch. I just believed more in Green Bay than I did in Houston getting further in the playoffs, and Green Bay had the better shot to doing so. That's why I put Jordan Love first.
You believe Love is just as good as Stroud?
I believe they are very comparable players. I think CJ Stroud is probably a little bit better, but Jordan Love is still a really, really, really good player.
I think Jordan Love is
and
more
has a chance to be great.
I think Jordan Love is more skillful. I think Stroud has more talent.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're going to have to explain that another day.
No, I can give a quick explanation. Like, well, go ahead, Kenny. It's his turn there.
Here go the craziest list of the night.
I didn't think it was that crazy until now. Thought it was fairly reasonable. I thought it was a pretty good list.
Wow, you got Justin Herbert.
Justin.
Oh, okay. You got Trevor Lawrence. You're the only person that had Trevor Lawrence on here. That's why. I see why Jalen. I see why Jalen.
Nobody else had Justin Herbert on their list.
Nobody had Justin or Trevor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Especially this version of Justin Herbert, boy.
Wait a minute.
Nah, Nick, you were just talking up this hardball guy, bro. If he's supposed to be the guy, he's gonna be the guy.
Hey,
you wrote this down before your walk today. You wrote this, like you Googled it and you wrote this down. That's why you the only person that got.
Hey man, we saw what Trevor
Lawrence.
Hey, I'm gonna be like Nick, man. We saw what Trevor Lawrence did in that playoff game, and that playoff game coming from those touchdowns.
He's not a top 10 quarterback. That's what
shit. Watch. Jordan Love, number 10. We will see. It's a prove year for him. Number 9, give me Justin Herbert. Nick, you speak highly of this Harbaugh guy.
I speak highly of Harbaugh. I don't never. That's what I'm saying. You ain't never heard me say nothing about Justin Herbert. I said a Harbaugh coach team.
Nobody else had him on the list, bro.
I said a Harbaugh coach team don't lose. That's all I said.
Trevor Lawrence going to bounce back this year. We all going to see it. Dak Prescott, man, you can't ignore the resume. You can't ignore what he's been able to do consistently over the last couple of years. Josh Allen at number 6. He had a fluky year last year, and he got bailed out by a bad Miami team that couldn't close the deal, and he managed to come back and win that division.
It's crazy.
Hey, man, let's get to this 5. All right. The Glock is locked and loaded. Give me Brock Purdy at number 5. I'm going with Joe Burrow at number 4. The man has been hurt. I think CJ Stroud is going to take another step forward this year. And, of course, you got to go with the MVP at number 2. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes is obviously everybody's number 1. We were just trying to figure out who 2 through 10 were. So, yeah. Yeah, man.
So
I think
Ken,
that's gonna be solid, bro. Watch.
nah. Look, first of all, you the blackest dude on the show, and half of your
It
list
got
is
a
white,
lot of snow on
which
it.
that's the first thing that
My
came to.
top 3 are black
I
ish.
understand. Well, no, they
Not
all black,
Patrick.
but then you got Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, you got Justin Herbert. Half of your list is white. That's number one. I didn't
Are
expect
they?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
who
then
I leave off?
yeah.
I got Dak on there. Who I leave?
Not Ken, look, Ken, hold on. Let me break this down just a little
Is
bit.
Jordan Love on your list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
number 10. Brock Purdy at number 5 over Josh Allen. Ken, you done lost. Nick, you need some meds, bro. You need
How? I
some
haven't
old
seen
man
Josh
meds.
Allen in the Super Bowl.
So Josh Allen is better than Brock. Okay, so if we switch Josh Allen and Brock Purdy, I would say Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that.
So
What do
Ken,
you
you
mean
saw
you don't know
Jalen
about
Hurts
that?
in the Super Bowl. Why he ain't on your list?
Why would he be?
Because I don't. Yeah,
He doesn't play
Jalen
quarterback.
Hurts.
Because he doesn't play quarterback. He's running back.
You saw him in the Super Bowl.
I saw
You
him
saw
fall
him in
apart
recent
last
Super
year.
Bowl.
Sheldon,
I saw him
Sheldon, he's a running
collapse
back.
last year
My thing
He's
with
in the
running
second
back.
half of
That's
the
why.
season.
my thing
He's
with
not a
Ken
quarterback.
Ken is with Brock Purdy going into the season. Do you think they go back to the Super Bowl, or at least the last 4 teams left in the playoffs this year?
They should be.
Yes.
You have okay.
Yep.
They should be.
I have a question.
That's where I disagree with that.
I
That
have a question
roster
for
is
Sheldon.
stacked.
What black quarterbacks I leave off besides Jalen Hurts?
Ken, all I'm saying is you added a whole bunch of white ones.
Who?
Justin Herbert is not a top 10 QB.
I understand. What
Jalen,
other
can you
black
go back to,
quarterbacks did I
6
leave?
through 10?
Jalen Hurts?
Who
Yeah,
else
you go
did
back
you
to
leave
6
off?
through
You
10.
left somebody else
You
off.
left
I
off
gotta
Tua.
Oh man, that ain't Tua.
Two ain't black. Two ain't black.
He
Tua
melanated.
tried to. Tua
That's the one you
just
left
went
off.
out there and
No, that's the one you left off.
destroyed his head coach and tried to get this black man from getting a job in the NFL. So no, he's not on the list.
That was not his intent. He was just letting y'all know what type of
I agree with
It don't
Ken.
matter what
dude
your
he is.
intent is. He was at 11. I
Okay.
left him off the list because of that. He a hater
Okay.
because he wasn't good.
Stafford should have been on your list. Stafford needs to be in top 10.
Yeah, I would have Stafford over Justin Herbert. I don't know why you got that.
100%.
I would take Stafford.
I don't know. You put since we flipped with so we putting
You switch
quarterbacks
chairs.
on teams. See, you put Herbert on with Sean McVay and what we get.
You know, Herbert with Sean McVay, bro. That sound like hardball.
I know you already know it's gonna be
almost
lighting it up, right?
That sounds almost as good as hardball in Herbert.
Hey man, maybe Herbert is this generation's Matt Stafford.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, you got a head coach now. So,
Yeah,
you know, because look, we never questioned Justin Herbert's talent. We questioned some of his decision making, and then when it came down to game time, right? Like those 1 or 2, 3 decisions, right? That game management that doesn't always fall on the quarterback. That's been the issue.
I thought when we were criticizing the Chargers, we placed a lot of blame on the coach and not Herbert.
We did.
We always did.
100%.
I was the only one that said Herbert. I
want to make sure I remember
I
that
did.
correctly.
I'll disagree with Nick. I did. I placed a lot of the blame on the coach.
I
placed
always
the
gave the
quarterback.
coach 90% on coach, 10% on Herbert. You know what I'm saying? Because the great ones overcome even those bad coaching decisions.
I give more than 10%, but at the same time, it still was more coaching. But now this year, you got to look at it like he doesn't have a number 1 receiver. We talked about this last week. We got to see who the heck he's gonna throw the ball to. Because I don't know.
You got paid, bro. That's what I don't. Once you get paid, bro. What I always say. Once you get paid, I don't give a damn what you say.
There's been talk about one of the rookie receivers for the Chargers that he's supposed to be really good. Number 5, I can't think of his name right now.
You talking about Jordan Palmer? You talking about Palmer?
Palmer. Yep, exactly.
He ain't a rookie. I think he is second year, but yeah, he's supposed to be their number 1.
A lot of talk is saying he's going to be really good this year.
I just hope that I'm glad that Quentin Johnson is on the team because he got a chance to pay his mama's house off and all that shit. But it sounds like that's the last check he gonna get from LA, boy. Because I thought he should at least be number 1 wide receiver by now.
That's crazy.
Well, we'll keep track of it. We'll see who's had the better list at the end of the year. And when my guys
it ain't
show
gonna
out,
be
bro,
Ken.
Me,
watch.
mine gonna be
It's
number
definitely
1.
not gonna be Ken.
Watch.
Mine should be edged in stone like the 10 Commandments. That's how it's gonna play
Mine
out.
is the list. Mine is the list. That's it.
Okay. Moving on. I thought I put together a pretty good list until the show started. Closing out, we have 2 more questions to go. What's your QB hot take for this season? Meaning, what crazy prediction do you have for any active starting QB in the league?
I got that Jaden Daniels will win Offensive Rookie of the Year over Caleb Williams. And I'm willing, and Ken, I'm willing to even go down the line further and say Jaden Daniels overall will be a better quarterback than Caleb Williams.
There we go. That's what I was waiting on.
In his first 5 years in the NFL.
That's what I was waiting on.
Right.
Nick, you are an elite hater, bro. This is a skill, bro.
I am not hating. I am going off data and a hunch. Those are my 2 things.
Well, your hunches be wrong than a mug.
There's only been a few times.
A bunch of hate.
FIFA, you got a lot of L's. You got a lot of L's.
You got more L's than me.
Mm-hmm. We still waiting on Imani Bates. Sheldon, I think we waiting on
Yeah.
Amani a baller. Amani been balling. You don't watch basketball.
He plays with a basketball. That's the only thing.
Jameis Winston.
Amani been balling. Ken, what was the question? What's the like an outrageous take?
Yeah, quarterback take for this year.
I'm okay. So I'm gonna see your Jaden Daniels with the Caleb hate, and I'm gonna raise you. Caleb is gonna win the division and make the playoffs.
Ooh,
Damn. Over the Lions and the
Packers.
That's tough.
We said crazy take, right?
Okay,
that's a crazy
all right,
take.
cool.
We're holding you to these. This is why you're saying it on record, because we're holding us to these takes. If anybody has,
it's a crazy take.
I got one.
Crazy don't always stick.
Kenny Pickett will be starting meaningful games for the Eagles because they bench Jalen Hurts.
You said
that's my take.
Bench, not if he gets
bench Jalen
Hurts.
Does getting
Kenny
hurt
Pickett? Nope. I ain't even gonna give you that caveat and say getting hurt. Kenny Pickett will start meaningful games for the Eagles because they got rid of Jalen Hurts.
Lou was in that cup.
Water.
Okay. Okay.
I got you one.
What you got?
Damn, I forgot which one I was going to do. 2 of them I was going to do, but I forgot.
He typed in ChatGPT. He's still trying to get the results.
No, I did not. Bryce Young is going to surprise y'all, and he's going to have a decent season.
That's not saying anything at all, bro.
That's worse.
You got to put it.
That's saying something to me, but
you got to put it.
It is saying a lot.
You got to put wins on stats.
Bryce Young after Jalen Hurts. Bryce Young the next thing to get benched.
I would say they're gonna go 7-10.
If they go 7-10, he's come back. He's comeback player of the year.
And then 2, I got 2 of them because I got Anthony Richardson balling out, making the playoffs.
That's the hot take because they talking about Anthony Richardson can't even.
I know, man. They've been dogging him, bro.
Hey, watch him show up though. He gonna show up. I think he's gonna play well in the season.
Bro, they talk about Anthony Richardson like how they used to talk about black quarterbacks.
Hey, they do. They do.
They were saying, does all he do is run? I was like, dang, bro.
Man, they said he had a lot of them were saying they had like 5th round grades on him. So he shot up the charts, but it was based off his athletic prowess and what he had going on there. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
And I think he's
gonna prove some people wrong.
I think he's also super young. I think he's only like 22.
Yeah, he's young. He is
like
young.
The defense is talking about they can see where he's going. Like he just throws to the spot. He don't even throw to the receiver.
Justin Fields will take over as quarterback for Russell Wilson and lead the Steelers to the AFC Championship.
Top 100 people said that is a lie.
Y'all wanted a hot take. Hey, that's what we're doing, right? Don't hold me
Yeah.
to it. I'm just answering the question.
What about you, Lou?
I gave mine.
Oh, you already did. Sure.
Yeah, I gave mine.
Mm-hmm.
He said that gonna sign for 200 million.
I was hoping he would have a Cowboys not take. He gonna wear that Dallas hat for no reason.
Shout out to everybody laughing at Daniel Jones being on the thumbnail.
I saw that. I looked at that.
That was crazy.
I was dying
crazy.
laughing. Was he on anybody's list? I thought he was gonna be on.
Might have been on
Ken.
Ken.
All the white faces, I got them mixed up.
Why would he be on anybody's list?
Yeah.
No,
Shit, I think once upon a time he was on Nick's list.
Who?
He was.
Danny
Right.
Dimes.
He was not on my list.
Shit. Hey, chat. Go back and pull.
The only thing I
pull the
talked about
record.
Danny Dimes was that he may be better than what we thought. That's it. That's the
And he
last
not.
bit. And he been
So
not.
that was a
He
hunch.
been not.
That was a hunch, huh?
No, that was just me spitballing.
Get him,
Oh, okay. What's the difference?
That was me. Even during the playoff run, I was surprised that I didn't even think they was gonna win that. Well, no, at that time I betted on them because I'm like, if he got them to the playoffs, they better win this game. But before that whole season, I was shitting on him the whole time because I don't believe in Daniel Jones no more. He ain't Danny Dimes to me.
Oh, so I'm glad you said no more.
Yeah.
That's what I said, no more.
Yeah, last question. Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas fired back at Anthony Edwards over his dig at the older generation. Is this argument a big issue or a small issue when it comes to how future generations look back at NBA history?
I think this is a bigger issue, Ken, because we're having a whole bunch of young cats that weren't even alive then talk about that era of basketball like they know something. Now, I'm not saying, I love Anthony Edwards and he is extremely skillful. And these players are way more skillful than those players. But Jordan wasn't the only skillful player. Like when he said that, and I saw that, I said, bro, there was Akeem Olajuwon. There was Clyde Drexler. There were so many skillful guys. But I will agree that there are way more skillful guys now. And their bag is way deeper. Shelton, I think there's way more just because the evolution of sports. We could look across any sport. The kids are being taught skills, right? And they're being honed in at a much younger age. So by the time they get 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, they have more in the back. We see it with the quarterbacks. We see it with the quarterbacks in football. They're coming out with way more skill and talent than they did in yesteryear. And we're seeing that in the NBA as well. Now, I'm not saying that they have the experience to go along with it to be able to exploit everything that they have in the bag. We knew Jason Tatum had a bag, but it wasn't just until the last 2-3 years where he's elevated himself because he's had the experience to back the skill set. So, again, I do agree with Ant to a degree that there are more skillful players now than there has ever been in the NBA. But to say that the only skillful player was MJ is completely wrong. Completely wrong. There were a lot of skillful players, just not as many as there are today.
FIFA, let me read to you the definition of skill. The ability to use one's knowledge effectively and readily in execution or performance. The execution of basketball in that era was greater than it is today. These guys have more athletic ability, but they have way more. Wait, don't finish. Wait, hold on a second. They have way more skill then because you could dribble to the elbow and take a jump shot. You can make a bounce pass. You worked on defense. You worked on a bunch of different things that they don't even teach in today's game. These guys now believe in shooting threes in making, the wildest pass and how crazy you can dribble. It's not even about the skills. Skills is what they do when it's fundamentals in basketball. And they don't even teach that anymore. So I can't say these guys are more skilled. They're more athletic, but they're definitely not more skilled.
They're more athletic. They're more skilled because they have more moves, right? So you can't have moves if you don't have a level of foundation. Also, I'm going to point out a couple of things, Shelton. Go look at the field goal percentages of way back when and compare it to now. That'll tell you alone that there's more skill now. You could also make the argument that there's less defense now, but I have a point to that. back then in Jordan's era, there was a thing called illegal defense, meaning that if your man was above the free throw line, you cannot be below the free throw line. Therefore, if you watch old Michael Jordan clips, he had one-on-ones all day and you couldn't double team. Now, if you were to double team, you had to come. You couldn't fake it. The moment that you did one of these, tech, 2 free throws. So the
No,
level
it wasn't to that level, FIFA. It
what
wasn't
wasn't to that level.
the way you making it seem. Yeah, they did hard double and they hard foul. It was
Illegal
hard fouls, but
defense?
it was better defense. It still was better. You still got illegal defense today. It's pretty much the same.
So
It's not
no,
much
no,
different.
not at all. I will give you the level of physicality, and I agree with Gilbert Arenas where it wasn't necessarily defensive skill. Dudes was just clocking you. Like we see fights happen all the time. It wasn't because of defensive skill. It's because you got by me and you got to the rack, and my big man said, "Boom."
But
If that's what we're calling defensive skill, then I'm glad that they got rid of that.
But I'm gonna tell you how I know they don't have skill. Look at your guy, Imani Bates. We were just talking about him. Imani Bates got what we would consider a bag. But does it translate? Is he doing anything right now? No. These guys are not skillful. We see it in the United States that we're losing ground because our guys don't have skill. They don't work on the basics and the fundamentals of the game anymore. We're losing these players.
We're losing ground internationally when you look at the physical size, where all of these other countries, their best players, 6'10" and above. Us, we still got Edwards is 6'4" shooting guard. Steph Curry is 6'4" point guard, right? LeBron 6'9". They have Giannis, they have Luka, they have all of these dudes with physical size in addition to the fundamentals that some of our guys are lacking. So I don't disagree there. But Shelton, to say that the defense, like I you know what I would like to do for Dennis Sports? Let's do some reactions. Let's go back and watch some defensive clips, and also just the rules alone dictate that, Shelton. The illegal defense in today's game. Do you understand how Kyrie would cook, how Luka would cook, Jason Tatum, and
No, because they
all of
would
these
knock
guys?
Kyrie on his ass, and you know that for yourself, and with nothing to be
With
called.
illegal,
So
no. All Shelton. All I'm
he
talking
wouldn't have been.
about.
He
I'm
wouldn't have
not
been able
talking
to
about the
cook.
level of physicality. I'm not talking about the level of hockeyism that the NBA used to allow back in the day. What I am talking about is solely the rules. Illegal defense. If my guy is above the free throw line, you can't be below. So that
But
means
what was
if
the?
you isolate on the baseline, there's no help.
But what was the biggest thing that the help that you needed more than anything else? You could hand check. So you wasn't finna just move and do all that because my hand is right there. You know that's huge. To take that away now, if you took that away in the 90s, we'd have seen a different game then too. So yeah, the rules change and it does evolve. But to say that there's less skill, I just don't agree.
My
and
thing
what
is,
Ant said, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Finish your saying.
I was just gonna say what Ant said is crazy to me, and it's crazy because I mentored this young dude. He about 22, and we were having this discussion, and we had similar point of views, well, different point of views, of course. But I was like, man, I was showing him some old Jordan stuff on YouTube. I'm like, these dudes don't even watch basketball like that. Like, if I could go back and watch some of that stuff, and I don't know if I will go back and watch like Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like that, but YouTube has everything, or you can watch complete games and people don't even go back and check that stuff out. And that's amazing to me that a guy like Ant wouldn't study more basketball. Like, who is he watching?
My thing is this though, is like that's where I was gonna go with this show. And it was like, y'all niggas be talking about history like y'all do. Y'all give a fuck about it. Y'all don't be going back to watch. Like Bob Cousy probably feel the same way about y'all takes about calling Jordan the GOAT or whoever the GOAT. And he like, nah, nigga, I played with these GOATs. I played against Bill Russell. I played it with Wilt Chamberlain. These are the niggas that y'all need to be respecting, or some other people in that era. And we'll be like, man, go on here somewhere, old nigga. Like, we don't give a fuck about what you talking about. Like, it's the same thing. I just think it's just I don't think it's a big issue because it's the same thing every generation, though. We just shit on the history of what we not seeing or we not witnessing, unless you kind of was around. And Edwards ain't nowhere near close to the Jordan era as far as even watching it or even understanding what it was. So, of course, but he knows Jordans as the shoe, and he like, this nigga must have been that cold to play basketball if everybody still fuck with his shoes 30 years later. So that's the reason why all these niggas still respect Jordan, because it's like, bro, everybody, my granddaddy, my daddy, my cousin, my brother, Shit, even the niggas on the court still today still say like he the GOAT. So how am I gonna go against it?
I'm just surprised that nobody, has ever given him some of these tapes to watch though.
Nobody want to watch
some
them
of
old.
these
How many
players.
times you sat down with your daddy or your uncle watching old tapes? And you're like, bro, I'd rather do anything else than watch these goofy ass.
But I'm saying he could
black and
learn
white.
something from some of those guys. Not the black and white. I ain't talking about the black and white.
Well, that's
I'm
the
talking
history of the
about
NBA. That's the history of the NBA too. Jordan will
not
say,
that far.
Jordan himself will say that you should watch that shit too, because I learned a lot
I
from these players too.
I would have definitely watched Jordan era tapes if I'm Ant. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna watch Jordan play the Pistons. I'm gonna watch Jordan play Portland. These games, I would have saw that stuff.
Nick, you can't go back in all honesty, because I agree with the point where a young man ain't gonna want to sit down and watch a whole bunch of old dude stuff, right? So I wouldn't go back more than two eras. You know what I'm saying? So for Ant, I would watch 2000s and I would watch some of the 90s. Beyond that, he's not gonna learn from that because they couldn't do what he's doing now. And this is the point that I made a couple of weeks ago when Grant Hill and Penny got into the league, bro. Grant Hill was crossing Pippen up. Pippen was the best perimeter defender in the NBA. And he couldn't do nothing with Grant Hill, bro. Grant Hill was saucing dudes up. Penny was cooking MJ. And here's the other thing that MJ never got cooked. MJ got cooked plenty of times. Allen Houston
Yeah, he
used to
did.
cook MJ. Mitch Richmond used to cook MJ. Penny cooked MJ. There was a whole bunch of dudes. There was
Not a whole bunch. Don't do that. Don't do that.
There was a handful of dudes in the league that would cook MJ. AI cooked MJ. You know what I'm saying? Kobe cooked MJ. MJ couldn't guard Kobe. Kobe was 18.
You're like
No, I'm not saying.
you're doing a lot. You're talking
Nah,
about
it
late
wasn't.
MJ though. You're saying
Yeah,
niggas cooking MJ like
They
that didn't
weren't
happen.
cooking him. They cooked him certain times, but it
Hold
wasn't
on.
like
True.
Jalen came on to say
That
something.
was like, yeah. I'm glad Jalen came in because I want to hear what he got to say. But like niggas wasn't cooking
Wait,
MJ.
hold on,
like
hold on,
what you're saying.
hold on, Jalen, real quick. Hold on. So Spike, you're gonna go and tell me Allen Houston didn't drop 40 something against MJ in the Garden. Mitch Richmond didn't average almost
No.
30 against MJ. What is you talking about?
That may have happened, yes, but he wasn't like when we're talking about MJ getting cooked. That didn't happen. That's
did happen.
revisionist history.
No, that did happen.
That's revisionist history, bro. Like a couple
So
of
you're saying
niggas
that
may have
Jordan
gotten
never
off.
got cooked. So Jordan never got cooked.
I'm not saying
No,
that.
he did get
Rex
cooked.
may have happened.
Chapman
Consistently,
cooked
no.
Jordan. Rex
It may have
Chapman cooked
happened.
Jordan. Go look it up
He
in
did.
Miami.
He did.
Jalen,
He's
what
been
you saying,
cooked.
bro? I get to you, Jalen. No, I'm done.
Fuck out of here.
All right, so
MJ
I got
never
a
been
couple of
cooked.
things I want to say, and I'm gonna jump off. First things first is people. You can't have it both ways. That's the first thing.
Thank you.
Like how you gonna say that they weren't skillful enough or they weren't as good, and then you talk about if Jordan's the GOAT, and then you saying he getting cooked. So obviously, like there's some correlation there to where like niggas were good enough. Like that means the league was competitive enough to where
Jalen,
niggas
I
was like
didn't
they
say
had.
that.
You
I
did
didn't
say
say that. I said that there's more volume of skillful players now than there has ever been. But I said that there were a lot of skillful players back then, just not as many as there is now.
But you stopped at the 90s, and that's kind of what the point I was making is that you're doing the same thing that they criticizing Ant for doing. Like you not like.
So you want me to go
like,
back?
I'm saying
Hold
like
on.
you're saying because Ant was point is the skill that's now it's way better than it was back then, and you just said that
fact.
what you just said. So that's why he doesn't look outside of anybody but Jordan, because you're saying like outside of this nigga who everybody and their mama say is the GOAT, none of these other niggas impress me.
But the first thing that I said was that Ant was wrong because when he said MJ was the only one, I said, bro, what about Hakeem? What about Clyde? There was
Are they better than MJ?
Better? No, MJ was the standard. MJ was the best.
So he only looking at the best. He ain't giving a fuck about everybody. All them
okay, but that's an Ant Edwards issue. That's not a FIFO analysis issue. I started off by saying that Ant is wrong because there were way more players than MJ that were highly skilled.
But the basis,
I think
the argument. Go ahead, Jay.
I think the other thing is like people what you're conflating, just like with Sheldon tried to start at, is you're conflating talent with skill. I think those are two different, totally different things. I think the league is probably is more talented, and I think that goes back to the game has been globalized for one. That is one reason why the game is like more talented. Like the access to the game is like you have access They like the body, the ways players like take care of their bodies, the like different training that they have, like that's a totally different level than was in the 90s. So it allows them to be more talented and take like different steps to be able to elevate their game. But I think that leans into a little bit more why you discrediting how like skillful the 90s, the 80s were. Like you're talking about the illegal defenses. So if I'm playing against an illegal defense, you know how much it takes for me to actually score against. Like it's just like saying if I got to play against somebody who's cheating and I still win, nigga, you know how much that takes out of me. Like I had to go the extra mile to do that. It takes a lot
What do you
out of
mean?
me to do. Because you were
How does
saying
that take a lot out of you? Because what I'm saying is with the illegal defense, it allows one-on-one situations with no help. So MJ there was no double team. He had
valid.
one-on-one.
There was double
And
teams.
and
There
and
was
the
still
chat
double
and the
teams.
chat said, huh?
There was still double teams.
There was still double team, but not like how it is now. You couldn't blitz a player that was below the free throw line. Look, what I'm saying is strategically, if I put 4 people above the free throw line and put MJ on the block, there's no help. And if you come help, you have to come. But by that time, everybody's above the free throw line. It's one-on-one. That's not easy. That's not harder, Jalen. That's easier. And here's the other thing, to your point of talent and skill. I don't disagree. There is a difference, right? But there are guys today that are both more talented and more skilled. Example, KD. KD could go back in the 90s and be the greatest of all time because there was nothing ever like that before. There was never a 7-foot shooting guard.
I don't even. I hate when people do that. You can't even do that with these players. Like the game is so like the floor is so spread that you can't even compare these these skill sets to the 90s. Like the game does not match up the same way. You just can't do it because even when people talk about like I agree that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. But I can't imagine Reggie Miller having the ability to see the floor the way that Steph Curry sees the floor right now. Like imagine Larry Bird being able to see the floor the way that he sees the floor right now. You can't take these players and put them back in a different era and be like, oh, they would be this in this era because it doesn't line up. So that's why when we talk about skill set, the era that they're in, it also shapes the way they play. Like people also talk about
100.
Jordan. Jordan was not a 3-point shooter, but people said if he wanted to be, he could have been. Who knows? I don't know. But that was not something emphasized in his era. So when we do these things and we talk about skills and eras and different areas of where players are playing, like it really does not make sense because you live in what you live in, you work on what you work on. Because Braun was not shooting a 3 the way he's shooting a 3 now at the beginning of his career, and I'm pretty sure if the floor was spread the way it is now, Braun will be a more efficient 3-point shooter than he's ever been. So you doing that talking about KD being the greatest? I don't know because KD. Also, we also talk about how KD can't really take physicality as much as a lot of players. So, like, and we talk about Luka's more talented, but we also talk Luka can't take physicality. You get up in Luka, like he just doesn't play the same. So when we do this thing, we compare these eras, like it doesn't really line up because these players they just don't exist in this time, so we can't put
No,
their skill set
100%.
there.
So Jalen, I think this, right? Like when we're looking at this and we're painting this with a broad stroke, the greatest players to ever play in the NBA, I believe, this just may be a FIFOism. I believe that it doesn't matter the era; they will figure it out because great basketball players use wit and IQ, and that supersedes anything else. A dude with a very high IQ level of basketball can always overcome a dude with extreme talent or physical gifts that God just gave him. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the IQ to be able to back that up. And to me, the greatest players the few of the ones that I named have that IQ that I believe could play in any era. Akeem could play now. Jordan could play now. LeBron could play then. KD could play then. Yes, the physicality, of course, would be an issue, but you adapt. The same way that they adapted, then they would have to adapt now. So to me, the greatest players, one of their greatest abilities is adaptability. You just talked about it with LeBron. He wasn't a great shooter at the beginning. Now he's shooting 40% from threes. Look at Jason Kidd as well. Another person that didn't shoot. They called him Ace and Kid because he had no J. And now he's like top 3 ever in most 3-pointers made. So at the end of the day, Jalen, I don't disagree with some of the
I don't
points
know if
that you're
that's the
making.
stat, but I get what you're saying.
Not J Kidd is top 3 or top 5.
So I guess what it sounds like, what kind of taking the LeBron example and even the Jason Kidd, they added a skill when they needed to.
Yeah,
Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, because the game was changing.
So
You know what I'm saying?
it's reasonable to say that guys in the 90s, based on what Jalen is saying and what you're kind of echoing too, is that if they needed to add a particular skill set to their game, they
They
could
would
have.
have 100%. 100%.
Yep.
I guess the biggest point that I'm
So
making is
if
there's
that's
just
the case,
more now
then
than then.
no. Well, how is that the case if they didn't need to develop that skill set because of the era that they played in?
So this is where the talent comes in, where the dudes today, partly because of what Jalen said, it's an international game. The '92 Dream Team made it a global game. The talent is just greater now. It's human evolution as well. You got to factors into that. We're talking 30, almost 40 years of evolution. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to be bigger, stronger, faster. You know what I'm saying? Look, at the end of the day, I started this whole thing by saying Ant was wrong, and there is more skillful and talented players than just Michael Jordan. That's the overarching point that I want to make. Is that there are
all I'm
guys
saying
back
is
then that was nice.
every generation shit on the next generation.
Yeah,
This is the
you're
new
right.
thing. It feels like.
Nah, and Jason Kidd is number 17, by the way. FIFO.
3-pointers made.
And how do we know he wasn't?
He was nowhere near top. I know that was not. I know you were wrong when you said that. I didn't know where you got that from.
He
He
just
wasn't
got
trolling
better.
when he said this.
Mm-mm.
Because y'all can't listen to everything Anthony Edwards say.
It sounded like he was trying.
trolling.
Magic Johnson, he went too far. He talking about I don't listen to niggas who ain't got rings.
I don't think he went too far.
No, I don't think he
went
did
too
either.
far. I think he went too far with that.
You gotta earn something before you
can't-
talk to me, bro. You ain't won shit. Why am I listening to you?
You can't talk to Jordan's son like that, bro. That's just disrespectful.
I mean, I think even coming from Magic Point, when you think about the top 25 players of all time, like most of them come from like around his era, or like before, or like that era. Like we got 4 from this era, this current era, maybe.
We gonna shuffle around the deck though once like we really get done with the LeBron, KD, Steph era. I think we gonna add some. Like to me, KD top 12 all time.
But
We don't know how his career gonna end. So if he get another ring, he could easily be in the top 10.
I can't.
They say Steph. They say Steph is in the top 10 already. We could see who else is gonna be like. We could. There's a lot of time that has to pass. We gonna reshuffle that top 10. It's probably gonna be more niggas from the 2000s and later than 90s and 80s.
Hey,
it's kind of
Jalen,
tough though, Nick, because we talked about it as recently as this past season. We don't know who's next. There is no true next. So in saying that, we don't know if we're gonna be able to reshuffle this deck. You got a couple. We got LeBron, Steph, and maybe KD. That's pretty much it.
If Giannis wins another one, if Joker wins another one, if who else? Like there's some niggas that's still playing now that like if they win another one, they could be. There's an argument to make that they probably lead into the top 10.
It would take more than one to get in the top 10 for me for those guys you named.
No, I'm saying like if they win another one, like if they like Giannis is still pretty much like he's not old. So
you said top 10 all time?
Yeah, they can. That's what I'm saying. Like they got time to win.
Take more than one.
Like if Joker wins another, if Joker wins
it's a minimum of 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Joker wins 2 more rings, if Giannis wins 2 more rings, like that can happen within the next 5 seasons.
That's a big.
I don't see Joker. I don't think Joker will make top 10.
If he wins 3 rings, he's top 10.
I don't know.
Who you taking
I don't
out?
know about that
because he's not over Shaq to me.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Joker over Shaq.
You naming top 5s. I'm talking about bottom 6 through 10.
Shaq is not top 5 all time. Shaq is not top 5 all time. He's top 10.
Yeah.
Top 5. I don't know about top 5. But Joker is not usurping Shaq. That's just not happening.
Joker
is not better.
Joker is
not better than Olajuwon.
Like you know, what's crazy? That Joker has 3 MVPs, and even now, he has 3 MVPs and a championship. But even now, I don't think people put him ahead of Giannis.
Right now, he's not
ahead of Giannis for me.
No, he's not ahead.
Most people, he's not ahead of Giannis. Like if Giannis get another MVP or another championship, he won't ever pass Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis
even if he get another ring, he just won't pass Giannis.
Giannis won an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in the same year, bro. I'm sorry, man. Giannis did some shit that niggas don't even really talk about. Like,
because Giannis still has big glaring holes in his game. He shored them up a little bit And in the Olympics, he showed the revamped jumper. But there's less holes in Joker's game than there is in Giannis.
Defense. Defense is the biggest hole in this game.
Yeah.
If you look at that international game, and what the players were talking about in terms of Joker, yeah, he doesn't have the tenacity or the physical ability that Giannis has, but his IQ also plays on the defensive side. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll get the poke away. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't count as anything. But I'll put it to you like this, Nick.
You over here
Jamie.
trying to put some
No.
whipped
Yeah.
cream.
Hey man,
on
hey,
a
hey,
shit
go ahead and
sandwich.
This is what I'm gonna say. No, look.
Hey
A
King, go
bad
ahead and wrap us up
defender-
because Spike about to fall asleep anyway. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
time to go ahead and wrap
Hold
up.
on.
I'm listening, Jalen. I'm listening.
bad
I'm like,
defender-
yo,
Well, you can just hop off. A bad defender is out of position. How many times is Joker out of position?
Bro, he's not a good defender, bro. I don't care what you try.
Yeah,
I didn't say
he's
he was a
not.
good defender.
He's not.
I
He's
didn't
not.
say he
Stop
was
trying to
a good
hype him
defender.
up because they were trying to hype him up in the
didn't say he was
Olympics
a good
too. It was
defender.
just like they need to stop. Let me read through these super chats so we can go.
Hey Ken, I know you got Kawhi in your top 25. Go ahead.
If Lamar Jackson isn't one or two on your list is wrong. All right, so my list was right.
That's many playoff
That was
games
right,
he won.
Everyone in New Orleans already hates Derek Carr.
They
Y'all
do.
remember when
They
FIFA was hyping up Derek Carr?
yep.
I said, hey, he has an opportunity to make a change over there.
Here go his
I
case
know.
that he forget.
Hey, people, they calling for Spencer Rattler already.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Hey,
I don't know what T's talking about, but all right.
y'all need to stop giving two of that hockey. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate the
Theo,
donation, T.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We them boys. I hope Drake May sits out for the first year to protect himself. The offensive line made Jacoby look like a crash test dummy.
Drake May about to start because I think Jacoby got hurt.
Damn. I've seen Geno resurrected. Phil still has hope.
So does Desmond Ritter.
That is true, we them boys. You're absolutely right.
Ritter is out the
Desmond
league.
Ritter?
Hey,
Out the league.
Pray for Ritter.
yeah, Ritter's done. Hey, what's the coach name? Jared Mayo said that Drake May hopefully can be the second best quarterback on the team.
He said, did he specifically use the word hopefully?
No, I think he
Isn't
just
that
said
what
he
he
is the
said?
second. I think he just said he is the second best quarterback.
Oh, he said he is? Oh, okay.
Okay. Because if he used the word hopefully in front of that,
Nah, he ain't say that.
that's a problem.
I got to go
Okay.
back and see. I can't remember.
Can't stay long, but wanted to show love. Can't wait to hear Sheldon's excuse for sneaking Hursts to his top 10 list. Man's legit had one good season. So he's
I
probably
talk
on the
about
list
the
today.
stuff. He's not watching football.
Devontae has Patty, Burrow, Lamar, and Allen. He doesn't have a 5. So if I said Patty, I started in the order of 1 through 4. Rob Costas is Joe Burrow at 10. We're going 10 through 1.
That's so disrespectful. He got Kyler Murray over Joe Burrow is insane, bro.
Yeah, Kyler,
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, Jared
That's
Goff,
cool.
Matthew Stafford. The amount of Matthew Stafford love is funny to
It's
me.
wild
The
to
way
me.
people
Yeah.
shit
Because
on this guy.
Especially, and it's because of last year he had a underrated, somewhat good comeback season, and everybody's saying, "Oh shit, he top 5. The Rams are dangerous. They got Puka Nacua." I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, it's amazing. This revisionist history is funny. And it seems to go both ways. Jared Goff at 7, Matthew Stafford 5, Jordan Love 4, Josh Allen 3, Lamar Jackson 1, and pick.
No, Lamar Jackson is 3.
Two.
What the hell is going on
And
with
big,
this?
big gap is the 2. There's a big gap between 3 and 1. Patrick
All right.
Mahomes.
Okay, shit confuses.
How does he have Kyler Murray on his list? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
He said it's going to be a comeback here. Pip. Starting with 1 through 10. Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe B, CJ Stroud, Stafford, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and Dak.
Me and Pip are pretty close in ours.
Yeah. Josh Bros, other side of the coin, who do you think are the 3 worst starting QBs in the leagues? Rookies removed.
Daniel Jones.
Gardner Minshew and Derek Carr.
Nah,
Jalen
don't
Hurts.
disrespect Minshew. Don't disrespect Minshew. Minshew's decent.
Jalen Hurts.
Anthony Richardson.
FIFA, imagine you're a fan of a football team and they said, "Oh yeah, we just paid a lot of money to get Gardner Minshew as our starter."
What's a lot of money
get-
though? What's a lot of money? Because I'm pretty sure he only makes like 12 million.
I'm
No,
about to say
people, it's-
anything over 10 million is a lot of money in my opinion.
I'll give you the three.
It's the QB market.
Who you got,
It's
Sheldon?
Daniel Jones, Jacoby Brissett, and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I'm there.
No Bryce Young?
No,
Okay.
Bryce I told you Bryce gonna bounce back. That's my.
This is crazy. Like if Bryce doesn't have a good season, like if Bryce don't win at least 6 games, they're gonna say he a bust, bro.
You won't.
All right. Last two. Yo, Nick, ask this with love, but at what point are you held to account and admit you were wrong with Daniel Jones? Because damn, you used to gas him up hard.
I've been made my piece. I told y'all during that time. I was like, bro, I'm done.
How
with
long
Daniel
ago?
Jones. I
I was wrong, Nick.
I already said I ain't gonna say nothing twice. You know what I'm saying? You would have, like Jay-Z said, if you want to hear my old takes, go listen to the old records. Like, get the fuck out of here. Nah. I've been made my peace.
Josh Bros, because there was some classic discussions, bro. When Nick used to cape up Daniel Jones.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm a Giants fan here.
Yep, it's all right. Quarterback and team hot take. This is from Josh Rose. Kyler Murray will score 35 total touchdowns and lead the Cardinals to a 9-8 record.
Well, Lou about to drop.
I know, man.
Oh, good.
It's the last one, Lou. This is the last one. That basketball talk put him to sleep, bro.
I will let y'all have this.
I would never bring up basketball again. I ain't gonna mention. I can't mention Spalding around Lou.
Last one. Patty. No, started with one. Patty, Lamar, Allen, CJ, Burrow, Love, Dak, Goff, Stafford, and Hurts, based on how I think they will finish the year.
Burrow at 5 is crazy.
Yeah,
That is a little crazy.
That's what we got. All right, man. We appreciate you guys. I'm trying to work out how we can keep track of our top 10 list. So I don't know. I might have to create a manual database. That might be a lot, but I'll see. I'll figure it out. But that's gonna do it for us, man. We are a week and a half away from football. So yeah, man. So come back next week. Next week we're doing
We're doing predictions. It's prediction week because the football season will start that like 2 days after that. So prediction weeks, we're gonna be breaking down our division winners, the rest of the wild card playoff spots, and we're gonna give our Super Bowl predictions.
All right.
Thank y'all for all the super chats, man. Thank y'all for the super chats, and man, do us a favor, leave your comments with your top 10 for us.
Hey, Ken, real quick. This is for Jalen. When JK retired, he was top 10. He's been passed up. So I had old information.
This nigga said top 3 and he wounded at the top 10.
Hey. Close enough.
Let's wrap this up.
Bro, you don't round up to 10, bro. You round down when you at 3. Anyway, all right, man. That's gonna do it for us, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.